Comcast Channel 43 presents High School Wrestling, the Region 8 Championship Round from Absegami High School. Hi everybody, John Vogeding here along with Steve Anuszewski. And Steve, they're breaking down the match to center it. The finals are only minutes away, and we're going to see some great, outstanding wrestling tonight. A state champion, a former state champion, a state runner-up, possibly some future state champion. It's going to be exciting.
That's right, John. A lot of state placement. This is the pinnacle of our coverage, John. This is the last thing that we do. This is our area championship, the Region 8 championship. Some great bouts coming up. I don't want to slight anybody, but we got to look at that 119-pound match. A rematch of this championship at 112 last year and the state final bout last year at 112 between Mark Mancio, Region 8 champion and state runner-up, and Joe Alexander, Region 8 runner-up and state champion from Sterling and Delsey, respectively.
Of course, and Joe Alexander has already won 2 state titles, Steve. And in the history of South Jersey wrestling, only one other wrestler's ever won 3 state titles, and that's Joey Melchiori of Highland High School. No other wrestler has ever done that. Matt Suter came probably one of the closest. Pat Lynch came close. Pat Lynch won as a sophomore and a junior, lost as a senior here in this gymnasium to Covington, and then lost to him in the state finals. Matt Suter, of course, winning as a sophomore, losing as a junior, and then coming back and winning as a senior. So winning 3 state titles, very, very difficult to do. And we could see the first step on the road to that tonight with Joe Alexander, but Mark Mancio stands in the way.
That's right, John. Also at 152, Lay Black, who could go for his 2nd state title this year, only a junior. So you might be seeing another wrestler who ends up being a 3-time state champion.
Lay Black, of course, from Absegami, has lost 1 time in his high school career, and that was a Larry Smashy last year in the Super Regionals at Cherry Hill East High School. And from that evening, we got all kinds of people walking around here. From that evening, Smashy went on to win a state title. Lay Black, of course, came back to finish 3rd in the state in the wrestlebacks. So Region 8 has produced its share of state champions and a share of excitement, and we expect to see much of the same this evening.
That's right, John. Also at 145, Toomey Goodrum of Absegami, 2-time state runner-up. Maybe the 3rd time's a charm for him, but he's won this championship the last 2 years, and he's gone for his 3rd region title. Troy Bennett defending his region title from Paulsboro at 189 pounds. Scott Guerin, region champ last year at Oakcrest, going for his 3rd region title in his high school career, wrestling for Paulsboro. So a lot of great wrestlers coming up. This is the top as far as South Jersey wrestling goes. Some of the best wrestling you're going to see on Comcast.
This is the cream of the crop. It's the Region 8 Championship Round, and we're going to have all of it for you coming up right after this. We'll be back with introductions of the key wrestlers.
First, wrestling at 103, this wrestler was seated 3rd. He is a junior with a record of 23-3. His career record, 43-28. He is the District 29 champion and a captain from Gateway Regional High School, P.J. Ryan. And his opponent at 103 was seated 1st. He is a sophomore with a record of 29-2. Career record 52-9. He was the District 32 champion, 4th at the Delaware Mid-Atlantic Classic, currently ranked 3rd in the state, and ranked 20th in the nation by USA Wrestling Magazine. From Absegami High School, Dave Chapman. Once again, 103, Ryan and Chapman. Wrestling at 112, this wrestler was seated 3rd. He is a sophomore with a record of 22-3, career record 47-8. He's a 2-time Holiday Tournament champion, 2nd in District 30 last year, 4th in Region 8 last year. The District 30 champion from Overbrook High School, Gary DeBrill. His opponent at 112 was seated 1st. He is a junior with a record of 28-3. He placed 5th in the Beast of the East tournament, 1st at the Delsey Christmas tournament, a Cape Atlantic League All-Star, and the District 32 champion from Absegami High School, Tom Becker. Once again, 112, DeBrill and Becker. wrestler was seated second. He is undefeated with a record of 27-0. His career record, 59-2. Two-time District 30 champion, this year's most outstanding wrestler. Region 8 champion last year, outstanding wrestler. Second in the States at 112 last year, currently ranked second in the country out of all freshmen and sophomores from Sterling High School, Mark Mancio. And his opponent at 119 was seated first. He's a senior with a record of 29-1, career record 122-9. He is his high school's winningest wrestler, four-time District 31 champion, two-time New Jersey State champion, currently ranked 9th in the United States by USA Wrestling. He is a captain from Delsea High School, Joe Alexander. Once again, 119, Mancio and Alexander. Wrestling at 125, this wrestler was seated sixth. He is a sophomore with a record of 25-4, career record 49-9. The 1998 District 29 champion, 1999 District 29 runner-up from Paulsboro High School, Greg Gross. And his opponent at 125 was seated first. He's a junior with a record of 26-0. His career record 72-11. Two-time Egg Harbor Township Christmas Tournament champion, the District 29 champion, and two-time first-team All-Conference Tri-County, a captain from Clearview High School, Bill Gibbs. Once again at 125, Gross and Gibbs. Wrestling at 130, this wrestler was seated sixth. He's a senior with a record of 23-3. Career record 101-14. Three-time Egg Harbor Township Christmas champion. District 29 champion in 97. Placed third in 97 and runner-up in 98 in Region 8. Four-time first-team All-Conference Tri-County. And the second all-time winningest wrestler from Clearview High School, Robert Becker. And his opponent at 130 was seated first. He is a senior with a record of 29-2, career record 69-10, two-time Region 8 finalist, two-time Deep Creek Tournament champion and the 1998 District 29 champion, a captain from Paulsboro High School, Preston Hamilton. Once again at 130, Becker and Hamilton. And wrestling at 135, this wrestler was seated second. He's a senior with a record 25-5, career record 70-18. He's the 1998 District 29 finalist, 1998 Region 8 finalist, 1999 District 29 champion, 8th place in the Beast of the East Mid-Atlantic Classic, a captain from Kingsway High School, Darren Gooseman. And his opponent at 135 was seated first. He's a senior with a record 29-0. His career record 101-13. Three-time District 32 champ, one-time outstanding wrestler, two-time Cape Atlantic League All-Star, three-time Woodstown Christmas Tournament, twice outstanding wrestler, two times third in Region 8 and 7-8 in the States last year, a captain from Ocean City High School, Greg Austin. Once again, 135, Boozman and Austin. Wrestling 140, this wrestler was seated second. He's a senior with a record of 26-3, career record 90-19. Four-time district place winner, four-time Egg Harbor Township Christmas Tournament. Second all-time Vineland High School record winner, a captain from Vineland High School, Nick Giordano. And his opponent at 140 was seated fourth. He's a senior with a record 24-6. Career record 57-28. He's the 1998 District 29 runner-up, fifth at the Beast of the East tournament, the District 29 champion and captain from Kingsway High School, Jason Griscom. Once again, 140, Giordano and Griscom. And wrestling at 145, this wrestler was seated second. He's a junior with a record 28-1. His career record 76-12. Three-time Collingswood Tournament champion, Neptune Tournament champion, the District 30 champion from Washington Township, Carl Schmidt. And his opponent at 145 was seated first. He's a senior with a record 29-2, career record 115-15. Third at the Beast of the East tournament, four-time District 32 champion, two-time Region 8 champion, two-time state runner-up, a captain from Absegami High School, Toomey Goodrum. Once again, 145, Schmidt and Goodrum. And wrestling at 152, this wrestler was seated third. He's a freshman with a record 25-3. He was the District 30 champion, a captain from Highland High School, Keith O'Donnell. And his opponent at 152 was seated first. He's a junior and undefeated with 31 wins. Career record is 102-1. Delaware Tournament champion, two-time District 32 champion, two-time Region 8 champion, 1997 state champion and 98 third. He's a captain from Absegami High School, Lay Black. Once again, 152, O'Donnell and Black. And wrestling in 160, this wrestler was seated second. He's a junior with a record 28-1. Career record is 78-14. Three-time Collingswood Tournament champ, Neptune Tournament champ, the District 30 champion from Washington Township, Brian Brittingham. And his opponent at 160 was seated first. He's a senior and undefeated with 30 wins. His career record 111-5. Four-time District 29 champion, two-time Region 8 champ, seven-time Holiday Tournament champ, placed third in the States at 152 last year, a captain from Paulsboro High School, Scott Garrett. Once again, 160, Brittingham and Garrett. Wrestling at 171, this wrestler was unseated. He is a junior with a record 24-5, career record 40-13. 1998-99 Holiday Classic Christmas Tournament champion, fourth in District 29 as a sophomore, third in District 29 this year. He has climbed through his bracket this weekend, upsetting three upper seeds to reach the finals. From Clayton High School, Dustin Burke. And his opponent at 171 was seated first. He's a senior with a record 28-3. Career record 92-16. He's a two-time District 31 champion, three-time District champion, Del C Christmas Tournament champion, ranked second in the state, has 19 pins, a captain from Absegami High School, Franco Cagliati. 171, Burke and Cagliati. And wrestling at 189, this wrestler was seated second. He's a senior with a record 25-1. Career record 80-20. Two-time Edgewood Christmas Tournament champion. Two-time District 31 finalist and champion this year. Third in Region 8 last year. Top 20 in the state of New Jersey last year. He's a captain from Millville, John Pellicciati. Was seated first. He's a junior with a record 29-1. His career record 86-10. Three-time District 29 champion. Two-time Caldwell Tournament champion. Defending Region 8 champ, placed fifth in the States last year. A captain from Paulsboro High School, Troy Bennett. 189, Pellicciati and Bennett. And wrestling at 215, this wrestler was seated second. He's a senior with a record 25-5. Career record 61-21. He's the 1998 Caldwell Tournament champion. Two-time District 29 champion and placed third at 215 last year in Region 8. A captain from Paulsboro, Warren Sharper. And his opponent at 215 was seated fourth. He's a senior with a record 29-1. His career record 78-22. Southern Invitational champion, Delsey Tournament champion, two-time District 31 champion. 2 times he took fourth place in Region 8. A captain from Delsey High School, Andrew Palillo. Once again, 215, Sharper and Palillo. And wrestling at heavyweight, this wrestler was seated second. He's a freshman with a record 28-2. He was the Caldwell Tournament champion, Deep Creek Tournament champion, the District 29 champion from Paulsboro High School, Tom Curl. And his opponent at heavyweight was seated first. He's a senior with a record 21-1 with 17 pins. His career record 60-12. He was second in District 30 in '98, and this year District 30's heavyweight champion. Third place finisher in Region 8. He is a captain from Williamstown High School, Rob Sampson. Heavyweight, Curl and Sampson. And now if we can get those lights back on, let's get ready to wrestle.
We'll be back with the first match in the Region 8 Finals right after this. Here we go, 103-pound Region 8 Finals. Dave Chapman of Absegami, and he's wrestling P.J. Ryan of Gateway High School. Chapman of Absegami, the #1 seeded wrestler. He's 28-2 entering this match, 52-9 in his career. He advanced with a 235 fall against Adam Schober of Kingsway and a 6-0 win over Ryan O'Hara of Paulsboro. P.J. Ryan, the District 29 champion, was a #3 seed. He advanced with a 9-1 win over Randy Goodman of Middle Township, and then he beat #2 seed Jeff Smith of Washington Township 8-2. Jeff Smith, of course, that we mentioned earlier, we saw earlier in the consolation match, beat Ryan O'Hara for third place, and he will move on to the Super Regionals at Cherry Hills High School. Steve?
Well, this is a match where one wrestler came in with a big upset. The other wrestler expected to be here. Early in this match, you've seen Chapman sort of pushing the action, almost came up with 2 takedowns. There he is on a single leg. There's Ryan in a lot of trouble. Ryan tries to dive through, but he never gets through the legs. And Chapman's going to get a takedown, and he's got Ryan in big trouble. This could be over quick.
Oh my. Last time I saw something similar to that was when Greg Z. White did it down Clanton years ago. I know we've seen it.
Long time ago.
I know we've seen it. Yeah, that is. 1960, geez, what, 8?
68.
Yeah. Of course, Greg Z. White was a pole vaulter from Pennsville High School. Later went on to be a state champion and a national champion. Chapman has Ryan in deep trouble here.
2 count, at least 2 back.
Oh, brother.
Got him again, Absegami has always been good, John, with a near side cradle. Gene Barber was murdered with that in his high school career. He's the head coach at Absegami. And always tough with a near side cradle. And there's a 2-point near fall at the end of the first period. We're coming right to the end.
That's it. We've reached the end of the first period. 4-0 is the score in favor of Dave Chapman of Absegami, the sophomore. He's leading P.J. Ryan of Gateway, a junior, 4-0.
Well, John, Paulsboro won another 50-50.
Well, it wasn't me, Steve.
It wasn't me either.
Absegami's choice takes the bottom with a 4-0 lead. Chapman stands up.
Quick to his feet and gets the 1. Commanding lead now, early in the second period, 5-0 lead.
5-0.
Chapman's going to score again here, John, at 7.
Nice 79 action.
This kid is a very tough 103 pounder. I expect him to contend next week. He's got Ryan in big trouble again. Only a sophomore, John.
Oh, brother, he's going to be around for a long time, Steve. Oh, my. Oh, brother. He smelled blood and he went right after it.
Minute 20 to go and a tight, he fought that off. Good job by P.J. Ryan fighting off that and a wicked crossface.
But that near fall 3 makes it 10-0.
Another wicked crossface.
Chapman completely in control.
Well, this is the way you need to wrestle on this level, John. And he's certainly taking it to Ryan.
Confidence is so important to get to this level.
Chapman last year was a very small 103 pounder. This year, as was Ryan. And both those wrestlers have grown into this weight class, and Chapman has just become a dominant wrestler.
I've seen him a couple times this year, Steve, and I'm very impressed with his ability out on the mat. He's a good technician. He's very strong.
Very good on top. Does a great job doing what he's doing right now, controlling that far arm.
Yeah, the only times he lost this year were in the Beast of the East tournament. That's where those 2 losses came from.
So he hasn't lost since the first weekend of the season.
That's it. Down in Delaware.
And, very youthful-looking young man.
No, he's only a sophomore.
Right. He doesn't look like a sophomore. He doesn't look maybe like a 7th grader in the face, John. But he's a well-built 103, that's for sure.
28-2, coming in 52-9 in his career. P.J. Ryan, going matured this year. He's a junior. Lost to Cafari of Haddon Heights 11-7. He lost to O'Hara of Paulsboro 7-2 in the dual meet. Lost to Plotz of Collingswood 11-8. He eventually lost to O'Hara in the District 29 finals by beating O'Hara 5-3.
Chapman in again on a single.
Escape made it 10-1, and we have no takedown at the buzzer, so we'll enter the third period with Chapman completely in control. 10-1 to score. As you see the gateway corner, that's
Guy Davidson
on the left, and to his side was Mr. White.
Yes. Mark White's father, former Woodbury wrestler. Back in the 60s.
Who wrestled Marvin Hamilton one time in a dual meet, put Marvin Hamilton on his back for 5.5 out of the 6 minutes, but could not pin him because Marvin Hamilton had one of the strongest bridges I ever saw. In fairness to Hamilton, he was a 123-pound wrestler that year. The 15-pounder from Paulsboro got sick. Hamilton lost the weight, went down, and wrestled that match. But I'll tell you what, never got pinned. 12-1 is the score.
Chapman with a takedown, and last year Chapman, as I said, qualified for the Region 8 championships, but did not advance to the state tournament.
103 last year?
At 103.
Yeah, did not advance to the top 4, right?
Right, he lost in the pre-quarterfinals.
Yeah, Hunter beat Chris Rosano of Highland 3-2 for the championship last year, and Jeff Coverley beat Gary DeBriel, who we're going to see next, 4-3 for the consolation spot at 103.
John, I looked during the off-season on the internet. You saw Dave Chapman's name appear a lot of times in the junior tournaments, the USA wrestling tournaments, the AAU tournaments, and he had an outstanding career, outstanding summer placing in the nationals this year.
Well, you know, that's what it takes anymore. There's so many specialties out there in softball and basketball. Wrestling's the same thing. In order for these wrestlers, some of these wrestlers to reach the pinnacle, they have to go into a real tough off-season program of building their strength with weights and doing a lot of wrestling, build their technique. Absegami, by the way, Steve, going for its 19th regional championship here. They ranked 12th in South Jersey coming into this match right here. Paulsboro, the all-time leader with 67 regional championships from among 47 wrestlers. Highland second with 37, Lenape third with 34, Pemberton 33. Dropped down to Washington Township and Eastern are tied for 10th with 19 apiece and Absegami with 18. So they move into a tie for 10th as we speak, should they win here. And they're well on their way to it. 12-1 now, 12-2. 20 seconds left in this first period. Oh, brother.
Third period.
Third period.
It's going to be a 2-point near fall.
Might be in it. What do we got here? 14-2. 14-3. And that's the way it's going to end. Dave Chapman, the #1 seed, wins by 14-3 over P.J. Ryan of Gateway. That means that Chapman will be the champion, Ryan the runner-up, and Jeff Smith, the third placer, are going to Eastern High School for the Region 7 and 8 Super Regionals.
Great job there by Chapman. Just dominated the match, and that's probably one of the more dominating matches that you're going to see in this regional competition.
I was just going to say, Steve, that was pretty much a one-sided performance.
This should be a good one here coming up, John. 112. Tom Becker, the #1 seed from Absegami, and the #3 seed, Gary DeBrielle from Overbrook.
Yeah, and now they got here is Becker, the #1 seed, won 8-6 in overtime against Mark Quartella of Clearview in a kind of a controversial tinged match on Friday night. But then Becker also went in overtime and got a takedown with 36 seconds left to beat Jim Marrero of Highland to enter this final. 28-3 entering the final. 5th in the Beast of the East tournament this year. Gary DeBrielle, the #3 seed, he tech fall Izzy Rivera of Vineland. Uh-oh.
They had moved there by DeBrielle.
Then he won 5-0 against Hunkler. Oh my. Oh my, great hip movement by DeBrielle. There's nothing there.
Great scramble by DeBrielle. He pulled Becker right on top of him. It was really poor use of judgment, in my opinion. But and Becker was in good position, but did a great job scrambling out of that.
Hey, live to tell about it. Joe Henry, the official, showed great patience and not panicking and giving 2 points too fast. There's DeBrielle on a near side leg.
That's more of like an outside single. His head's outside the body. Becker locking in around the waist, around the leg. DeBrielle, no points yet. Going to try for a cross body. Becker holding on to that leg. Nothing yet.
Now you're going to have
2 now.
I thought. Yeah, there it is. 2-point takedown for DeBrielle.
Good call there by Henry.
30 seconds left in the opening period. DeBrielle came into this with 3 losses. He lost to Stinson of Camden Catholic, I know, who was in the Region 7 finals. He lost to Quentin Hicks of Eastern by fall, and he lost to Becker of Absegami 7-6. So they have wrestled before. Becker, as we mentioned, lost twice in the Mid-Atlantic tournament, and he lost to Jason Tate of Phillipsburg 7-2.
To Jason Tate 7-2 the first time, and came back and beat him in the group championship.
Right. And looks like we have an injury timeout here for John Becker of Absegami High School.
This is Becker's first full year on the varsity level and making it to the region finals. Quite an accomplishment, John.
Absolutely. 27-8, a career record. He's a sophomore, which means he was a part-timer last year. Just saw some limited varsity action. Tom Becker, the junior. He's stepping in for the first time too, right, Steve? Tom Becker? I don't remember him wrestling much last year.
That's great. That's what I was talking about, John.
Yeah.
Gary DeBrielle last year was a 4th place finisher in Region 8. He lost in the semifinals last year to Matt Hunkler from Paulsboro and avenged that loss this year in the semifinals, and came back in the consolations, and Jeff Coveley from Clearview beat DeBrielle.
See Paul Moriello, the veteran coach of Overbrook High School, talking to DeBrielle. Yeah, you're so right. Coveley of Clearview beat DeBrielle 4-3 after the semifinal round where Hunkler beat DeBrielle 6-2. Well, he got sweet revenge with that match earlier where he won 5-0. DeBrielle over Hunkler.
Becker used a good amount of injury time, John, and you only get a minute and a half now.
Yep.
So.
Is that blood time or injury time?
I didn't see any blood, John.
Well.
So I think it was injury time.
Well, he was when he,
out.
yeah, when he was laying on the mat, he kind of like pointed to his mouth. I think maybe it might have been blood time. 3-0 to score, but DeBriel in a little bit of trouble here if they stay in bounds. DeBriel got the escape. Becker gets the takedown. Now we have a tight match.
3-2 match.
Tommy, stay in here underneath, on the hip. You're too high, Tommy.
DeBriel is one tall, 112-pound wrestler, John.
Yes, he is.
Under.
Overbooked with 13 regional championships going into this match from among 12 wrestlers. There's the escape, makes it 4-2.
My producer, Stan Ritter, points out, my director, that Becker has a swab in his nose, so maybe that was blood time.
Sounds like
I can't see at this point, but on our monitor. We have a confirmation on the blood time, and there's DeBriel in on what appears to be a takedown.
Oh my. Almost turning for back points too, Steve.
Has that arm barred.
That makes it 6-2 with 35 seconds to go in the second period. DeBriel looking very, very impressive, Steve.
That's right, John. Extremely tough on the mat. Good on top. Good leg wrestler. Oh. It was an illegal hold there. Technical violation.
1 point.
That was a figure 4, John, on the body. When your legs lock around the body, the leg that's around the body cannot lock under the knee. That's a figure 4, and that is a technical violation. 1 point for Becker.
And which makes it 6-3 with DeBriel still in the lead with 10 seconds to go in the second period. That's the end of 2 periods, 6-3 to score.
Gary DeBriel, as I mentioned, a very, very large 112-pound wrestler.
Wide shoulders.
Yes, he does. And we're sitting here, this is the second bout of the evening, and anticipating the next match, which is a rematch of last year's 112-pound state championship bout between Joe Alexander of Delsea and Mark Mancho of Sterling. They're warming up now, and that is going to be a barn burner. I hope it lives up to the hype, because there's a tremendous amount of hype in this gymnasium for that match.
Sure is. You could see him when they were warming up that Mancho, the number 2 seed, even though he's the regional champion last year, because the last time he met Alexander, he lost to him in the state finals. You could see him warming up. He really was excited.
No, I think they're both ready to go, and they both prepare differently, and I think that both wrestlers, Joe Alexander is the consummate professional, the consummate high school student athlete, outstanding job in the classroom, outstanding job.
And you saw the action stop there by referee Joe Henry because of a potentially dangerous situation. First and foremost, they're watching out for the athlete's safety out there.
Becker's in trouble, John, because DeBriel is so tough, especially with what he has right now, which is a really good body scissors. You can't lock around that. There's a potentially dangerous call.
Yeah, generally anytime the wrestler on the bottom has the top wrestler throwing legs in, if he can get up off the mat, clear his hands off the mat, becomes potentially dangerous, and they'll usually stop it. See the legs going again?
Tough with those legs.
Under a minute to go in the third period of this 112-pound final. Gary DeBriel, the number 3 seed, is leading John Becker of Absegami, the number 1 seed, 6-3. 45 seconds to go. Tom Becker, I keep saying John, I must be thinking of John Mondelli. I don't know, Steve. It is Tom Becker.
Come on, Tommy!
2 Beckers in the finals. Robert Becker from Clearview come up later at 130.
25 seconds to go.
No relation.
Gary DeBriel firmly in control. And that's going to be another regional champion unless chaos happens in the last 15 seconds. Another regional champion for Paul Moriello. Stalemate called.
And it's been a long time, John. You have to go all the way back to 1991 when Overbrook had 2 regional champions. They've had a state champion since then, but they haven't had no regional champion when they 1991. And this is going to end right now.
6-3 in the final. Gary DeBriel wins the Region 8 112-pound championship by decision. 6-3. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back to a great match right after this. Here we go with the marquee matchup here at 119 pounds. 2-time defending state champion Joe Alexander of Delsey High School, and he's meeting the defending Region 8 champion and runner-up last year to Alexander, Mark Manchio. That's sophomore from Sterling. Alexander is senior, 29-1 this year. His only loss up a weight to Becker of Clearview, and 122-9 in his career. Mark Manchio of Sterling, a sophomore, 27-0 this year, 59-2 in his career. And of course, those 2 losses, one in a dual meet last year to Greg Croce of Paulsboro, the other one in a state final matchup with Joe Alexander.
2 guys with really outstanding records. One that's really capping off a great career, and the other one who's really in the midst of it. Still a real young wrestler, only a sophomore, wrestling a senior, Joe Alexander. Alexander this year will try to become, regardless of the result of this match, a 3-time New Jersey State champion, as we mentioned in our opening, and that is something that's only been done by Joe Melchiori of Highland.
In South Jersey.
In South Jersey, that's right. There's been 14, I believe. 14
statewide, including Melchiori, but only one from South Jersey. Joe Alexander, the #1 seed, he got here with a tech fall over Chris Costenbader of Paulsboro, 15-0 in 3 minutes and 20 seconds. And then he beat Chris Rosano of Highland, 11-5 in the semifinals. Alexander in on the leg. They go over the line, according to referee Sandy Hendricks.
Good call there.
Mark Manchio, undefeated, advanced, the #2 seed, advanced with a 114 fall over Steve Fisher of Cumberland, and then he decisioned Adam Reed of West Deptford 12-4. Rosano comes back to earn 3rd place with an 8-6 decision over Reed. So Rosano goes to the Super Regionals. In the previous weight class, Jim Marrero of Highland beat Matt Hunkler of Paulsboro 3-1 to claim 3rd place. So Matt Hunkler went from region champion coming back to 4th place and does not advance.
16 seconds to go here in the first period. No score.
I might have said Becker earlier with Alexander's loss. He actually lost to Billy Gibbs, who we'll see next. Moved up a weight to Russell Gibbs and lost 2-1.
Very tentative here.
Well, that's to be expected, I think. I think Manchio wasn't going to try to fire anything hard. And that's the way we're going to end up the first period, 0-0. See the corner for Sterling High School.
There's Mike Ahern on the left and Bob Enders.
Friend of yours?
Friend of mine. Excellent golfer. The Salamander on the right.
And of course, Michael Ahern of the famous Ahern family of many brothers.
3-time region champ. Escape for Alexander. 1-0.
It's almost like a college match, Steve. You see this so often in the national semifinals and national finals where 2 wrestlers are so good that many times escapes and weird things decide championships.
Well, last year in this match, it was more of a brawl, and Mark Mancio just kept coming out of things. There's John Kane, the head coach.
Who stepped up this year after longtime coach Steve Isles retired from active coaching and moved in the position of the school's athletic director and has done a great job. Gentlemen, Steve.
Steve's sitting in the corner with John Kane. First time I've seen that all year, but I mean, this is a huge match for Joe.
Well, and Steve Isles is the coach as Alexander won his 2 state titles, so.
Also sat in the corner during Joe's semifinal match. Good snap down by Mancio. There's a takedown.
Oh boy, there's a takedown. A good snap down, spin behind by Mancio.
He's so fast, John.
Yes, he is. And that gives him the lead, 2-1.
Both wrestlers very good on top.
Oh my. This is so much like a college match.
Well, Mancio has the upper hand now. It's 2-1. I don't expect a whole lot of scoring in this match the way it's been wrestled so far. So Joe Alexander needs to get out here, and then it's going to come down to the 3rd period. Who gets a takedown? There it is.
Alexander out again. That ties the match at 2-2. Because Alexander has to apply the pressure with 30 seconds to go. Before we go to the 3rd period, it's going to be Mancio's choice, and I'm sure he's going to take the bottom and battle for the escape.
Right ahead, there you go.
Alexander pummeling a little bit. Staying active. 15 seconds to go in the 2nd period.
Mancio just stays in such good position. You know, he's so fast. He's such a good athlete. Alexander, very technical. Has a lot of success with a quick single leg shot. And there's the end of the 2nd period.
And we're tied 2-2 going into the 3rd and final period. You're going to see Mark Mancio on the bottom. The returning champion. As you see some of the part of that great crowd here, Steve. I mean, they are packed in here.
I'm very interested in this match. This is a barn burner. A lot of wrestling is going to happen in this next 2 minutes, John.
Marquee.
Alexander very good on top, very good with tilt. Mancio very tough to turn. Does a good job keeping Alexander from getting that arm. Alexander back on the leg.
Oh, brother.
There's that roll through.
Oh, brother.
Reversal here.
Oh, what a move. What a move. Holy mackerel. Oh, brother. That's a head first dive between the legs. We saw that earlier. Didn't work.
I've seen Mancio do that before, John. He just, I said he's a tremendous athlete. He's one of the most exciting wrestlers I've ever seen.
Watch this, Steve.
Oh, this is something. Mancio is coming to his feet. Alexander staying back on the leg. Alexander has one leg and a wrist at this point.
His both feet
Dives through. Both feet were off the mat. He dives back through. His momentum takes Alexander over, and Mancio picks up the reversal to lead 4-2.
Amazing.
Long way from over, though, John.
That's true, but I'll tell you what, Mancio really pulled a slick move there. Greg Z. White, Pennsville move from 1968. Oh, brother. Joe Alexander battling for his life now. Gets the escape as they go out of bounds. We're neutral. 4-3.
Conditioning could play a factor here, John. Minute 14 to go.
So it's been one takedown so far, and it's been Mancio's takedown. His takedown and his reversal has given him the 4-3 lead.
No stalls, John.
No stalls.
No warnings.
The 3 points that Joe Alexander has are all escape points. There's 55 seconds to go in the 3rd period. You cut the tension with a knife, Steve. Stalemate. Sandy Hendricks, the official. Al Maloney, the match judge. Sandy Hendricks stops the action there. Mancio was hit in the face and stunned him for a second.
That will be injury time.
Injury time. Clock is running. Steve Isles whispering in one ear and John Kane whispering in the other ear.
Mancio's really in a situation where he needs to be aggressive because at this point, at least for the next 15 or 20 seconds, he cannot afford to take a stalling warning, John. If he can keep from getting, it's tough to give 2 stalling warnings in the last 15 or 20 seconds. But for the next 20 seconds or so, Mancio has to be very aggressive.
That's Steve Isles with 222 wins, 67 losses, and 5 ties in his career before he retired. You're absolutely right, Steve. We're coming up on 30 seconds to go. Mancio can afford a stalling warning. He can do the blocking. He's leading 4-3. Will he be the Region 8 champion for the 2nd year in a row? Will Alexander have to come out of the loser's bracket to win his 3rd state title in a row?
There it is, John. He held off that 20 seconds. Now he can afford to take a warning.
Yep. Alexander the aggressor. All Mancio has to do is block and sprawl, block and sprawl.
Just 10 seconds left.
Oh, brother, and he's going to spin, almost spins behind. They're out of bounds, 5 seconds to go. Mark Mancio's corner telling him, stay low. Caution on Alexander. Going too quickly. Almost a caution again. Block, block, block. And you're a regional champion for the 2nd year in a row. Mark Mancio of Sterling defeats Joe Alexander, the 2-time state champion. Final score, 4-3.
What a match, John. What a match. Maybe not as wild as last year, but just as exciting. And there's Mark Mancio being hugged, tossed around. Very excited Sterling group.
Well, he walked in undefeated. Joe Alexander walked in with 1 loss, but up a weight. But Mancio proved what his coach has been saying all season, watching. That was his 60th career win, Steve, for Mark Mancio. 60 career wins against 2 losses. Alexander, 122 career wins, now has 10 losses. And that makes the road to a 3rd consecutive state title all the more difficult, Steve.
That road has going to go through Mike Booth. Now, I believe he should be the Region 7 champion, which means you're probably on Tuesday night going to see a very exciting match in the 2nd round of the state tournament between Mike Booth of Camden Catholic and Joe Alexander.
There we go at 125 pounds for the 3rd time this year. Billy Gibbs of Clearview, who's undefeated, 26-0. He's beating Greg Croce of Paulsboro. Junior against a sophomore, Croce to sophomore, 25 wins and 4 losses. This is their 3rd meeting. Last time was the District 29 championship.
Gibbs won in the dual meet early in the year. The score was 5-0. 5-0,
correct.
You're good there, you're good there.
Then won in the district finals this last weekend.
So they're very familiar with each other. Gibbs comes in as the #1 seed. He pinned Dan Smith of Washington Township in 4:38. Then Gibbs in the semifinals pinned Mike Townsend of Brighton in 1 minute and 34 seconds. As the runner-up in District 29, Greg Croce started out as the #6 seed. He pinned Jim Marciano of Egg Harbor Township 3:18. He pinned Brad Alcorn of Sterling in 3:16, and then he had to go overtime to beat Manny Aguilera of Delsey 7-5 with about 6 seconds left in regulation. Aguilera was hit with a stalling point which forced the tie, and then with about 30 seconds to go in the overtime, Croce got the takedown to get himself into this final. Aguilera came back with a 9-4 win over Townsend in the consolation, and he will go to Cherry Hill East as the 3rd placer.
John, both these wrestlers are very difficult to score on. There's been, I think, only 2 takedowns in the last 2 meetings, and Gibbs has both of those.
Well, Greg Croce has used a variety of moves this year, Steve. I remember earlier in the year when I thought he was almost exclusively an upper body takedown artist. After he lost to Gibbs the first time, I saw him come out in ensuing matches, and these are a variety of takedown moves, duck unders, sweeps, singles, ankle picks, going more away from the upper body. And then when he met him in the District 29 finals, Gibbs again was the
stall on Kroos, John.
Yeah, Gibbs again was the winner by getting a takedown and kind of stymied everything that Gross tried to throw at him. Paulsboro warned for stalling by referee Alan Maloney. He's working with Tom Reynolds.
11 seconds to go here in the first. No score. It'll be the first time in the meetings that there wasn't a Gibbs did not score.
Up,
but he did.
Speak too soon there, Steve. Going to have a 2 and a 2 here. Takedown and a near fall in the last how many seconds?
2 seconds to go.
2 seconds to go, and you mentioned so many times.
Points at the end of a period and big matches will kill you.
And back to haunt you, and there was a perfect example. Billy Gibbs on the bottom to start third period. That was a move that Kroos has used so effectively this year. And Kroos is going to say, well, look, I'm not going to waste my time trying to keep you on the mat. I'm going to give you the freestyle start. Let's see if you can do that again to me. 5-0.
Kroos needs to get offensive. He needs to change his attack, John. He absolutely has not had any success wrestling this way against Gibbs the last 2 times.
And he can't back up. Can't get tied up and back up because he's already got a stalling warning.
Here comes the throw. Gibbs steps in, just tosses him. Very physical wrestler, Billy Gibbs. I expect a lot out of him next week at the state tournament down the road in Atlantic City.
And Greg Kroos has got a future. He's just got to perfect some of his moves, work a little bit harder in the off-season, build up his strength. Not so sure he's a pure 25-pounder this year, but
another takedown for Gibbs.
Been behind this time. Kind of dominating now, Steve.
That's right.
7-0.
And a power half. In the 2 matches previous, Kroos was unable to get off the bottom.
Well, and the matches were much closer. 5-0 in the dual meet over at Clearview, and 4-1 in the district final. Kroos lost also to Mike Weber of Kittatinny the very first weekend of wrestling action in the Caldwell tournament, 11-9 in overtime. He lost to Chris Collins of Rock Hill, South Carolina, 11-5 down the Deep Creek tournament. Billy Gibbs,
as 2-time state champion.
Yep, Gibbs, as we mentioned, comes in here as undefeated.
One of the few.
26-0 entering the final, 72-11. He's going to get a back count here in his career. That's at least 2 more points coming. He is dominating this match, Steve.
He is all over Kroos, John.
20 seconds to go in the second period. The count starting again.
3 here, John.
Down to the last 5 seconds of the period. Three-point near fall. That jacks it up to 10-0, Steve.
And 0 for Gibbs.
And then neutral once more.
Gibbs never won a NJSIA event coming into this year. Last year, finishing 3rd in District 29. Headlock.
Oh my. That would have been curtains inbounds.
Just absolutely dominating Greg Kroos at his own game, the upper body.
Clearview has had 4 regional champions during their career. Doug Jacob, the very first one in 1980 in heavyweight. Frank Kingdon in 1981 at 148. I think that was against a Paulsboro wrestler.
Royce Hampton.
Greg Van Brill at 188 pounds in 1987, and Kevin Van Brill at 114 pounds in 1995. That's the Clearview background. And Billy Gibbs well on the way to becoming the 5th wrestler in Clearview history to win a regional title.
Only a junior.
He'll be back.
I knew that Billy Gibbs was a tough wrestler last year in a really tough weight class at 110 125 with Preston Hamilton, and Jason Mercado, Andy Vallejo. He finished third in the districts and lost Friday night here at Rio.
Nice
trip.
takedown.
I think he's getting better as the year goes on, John.
Well, he's certainly getting better over Croce because it goes from 5-0 to 4-1 to 12-0. Paul Marine and Dean Duca can only look on forlornly. Where did we go wrong? Well, I don't think anybody went any wrong any place because John Marinelli and Billy Chiaffi had Billy Gibbs ready to wrestle tonight.
Well, I think that here's a case where very physical wrestler. Very physical.
45 seconds to go in the third and final period.
Croce tries a little bit of a throw. Gibbs hangs in there, no score.
Here's Bill Chiaffi, and next to him, John Marinelli, who wrestled here at Absegami High School for Gene Barber. His father, Art Marinelli, of course, a former coach at Oakcrest, and is retiring on September the 1st, Steve. Told me earlier in the tournament he was employed on September the 1st. Been here 37 years, and he's going to retire on September the 1st. Good luck to him.
Bill Chiaffi wrestled at Glassboro High School.
Final 10 seconds. Oh, brother, what a dominating performance by Billy Gibbs. And that's it, 12-0. A dominating performance by Billy Gibbs to win the 125-pound Region 8 championship. We're going to take a message and we'll be back right after this. Here we go at 130 pounds. Preston Hamilton, the senior from Paulsboro, 29 wins and 2 losses entering this match, and he's wrestling for the 3rd time this year. Robert Becker, the senior from Clearview High School, who is 23-3 entering this match, 101-14 in his career. This is the 3rd meeting for Hamilton and Becker this year, Steve.
That's right. They met also in the Paulsboro Clearview dual meet, and in the district finals, Hamilton winning both of those matches. Hamilton's only loss coming in the first tournament of the year. Or, excuse me, he has 2 losses. Lost also in the he lost also in the Group 1 final against John Rodriguez from Boundbrook.
8-7 on a day when he wasn't very healthy, Steve. I remember being at the school that morning prior to leaving, and Paul Marina's wife calling up and saying he was throwing up at home. So he wasn't 100%. Take nothing away from John Rodriguez because he put on a show that day on his feet. But I don't think that was vintage Preston Hamilton that day. Preston Hamilton, 69 wins, 10 losses in his career. Had weight problems early in his career, getting down to the weight and holding the varsity position. But the last 2 years, he's pretty consistent. 29-2 this year. The first loss in that call-off tournament to Leon Henry of Truman, New York. Kind of a uninspiring pin loss in the second period. As I mentioned,
on a single.
Rodriguez, an 8-7 loss.
Hamilton on a roll through.
And a takedown. How about that? A la Mark Mancio.
What an athlete, John. Rolls through. 28 seconds to go here in the first. Takedown by Hamilton. Becker wrestling a little different style. I was really watching what he was doing, wrestling on a knee. Little different style. Becker to his feet. Hamilton cuts him. 2-1.
Well, and we mentioned familiarity breeding contempt, and earlier matches this year, it was tight in that Clearview match where Hamilton won 7-3, and then in the District 29 final, Hamilton kind of breezed 12-5. But we're coming to the last couple ticks in this period, and it's Hamilton 2-1 at this point.
Here comes a single by Becker. Hamilton leaps away, then dives back through the legs, comes up with an ankle and a takedown.
How about that? You know, last year,
Very athletic.
Hamilton lost a heartbreaker, didn't he, Steve, last year in the region finals?
Here in overtime to Jason Mercado. There's Paul Marina and Dean Duca. Paul Marina, the Region 8 Coach of the Year. Escape by Becker.
Makes it 2-1. As they pointed out in presenting the Coach of the Year award, 280 wins, I believe, 7 losses and 4 ties in his coaching career. There's a close-in shot at a takedown. Nothing given yet.
Nothing given yet. Hamilton down around the ankles.
Overhook in. There is still not a call. I thought it was going to be, but referee Tom Reynolds extending his hand, saying no one has control yet. They go out of bounds. He does give the 2.
There's a takedown.
That makes it 4-2 in favor of Preston Hamilton with 1:17 to go in the second period.
I think what Reynolds was doing, John, is giving Becker every opportunity to scramble back to his base and avoid the takedown. And when they finally cleared the mat area, he gave the 2 to Hamilton.
And I think it was very similar to what we saw as you see another escape making it 4-3. Yeah, very similar to what we saw with Jason Mercado and Preston Hamilton in the Region 8 final last year in overtime, where
Hamilton in again. He's going to get another one on the line.
There's 2 more.
2. Takedowns on the line, John. End of periods and points at the end of periods on the line are the key to winning big matches. And there's 3 of them for Hamilton.
And last year, Jason Mercado beat Hamilton 7-5 in overtime here because of a similar situation. I think Joe Henry, the official, had the match at that time, if I remember correctly. There's another escape. Make it 6-4. And I think every opportunity was given to Hamilton to fight his way out of the takedown thing. And as they went out of bounds, Henry gave the takedown, and that was the end of that match. Sudden death overtime.
Hamilton in again.
Another takedown.
Just so physical, John.
Oh, he's dominating. He's starting to dominate now like he did in the District 29 file.
Well,
a little time to get warmed up, and now it's 8-4.
His athleticism is just amazing. He's really come on this year, but his athleticism is what makes him an outstanding wrestler. He's very strong, great mat sense.
And if he's going to go deep in the state tournament, that's what you're going to have to see. You're going to have to see him battle on his feet, because that's where he's going to get the majority of his points. Although if he gets you on the mat, he has a great Hamilton ride that can produce some back points.
Jap Wizard attempt by Becker. Hamilton with a take, not yet.
10 seconds remaining in the period.
No takedown.
No takedown.
Oh, he did give a takedown.
And then an escape?
Yes, he did. He just gave 1, so I assume that there was a takedown.
Yeah, it got to be 10-6.
Okay. 3 seconds to go.
And 16 points scored over the first 2 periods. Preston Hamilton of Paulsboro leading Robert Becker of Clearview 10-6. Hamilton will start the 3rd period on the bottom as you see some of the Paulsboro faithful. See the Bay brothers in the middle of the crowd. Tony Marina, the plumber. And you panned away too fast where I can identify everybody else. Of course, I don't think I knew everybody else.
I don't think you knew everybody. You knew a lot of them now. Becker on top here in the 3rd.
Preston Hamilton, the #1 seed coming into this tournament. He tech-fouled Matt Rosano of Highland 18-3 in 4 minutes and 26 seconds. He beat Ryan Anderson of Absegami. They did not face each other in that Paulsboro-Absegami dual meet. He beat Anderson 5-2. Robert Becker came in as the #6 seed because he finished 2nd in the district. He tech-fouled Andrew Nieder of Millville 15-0 in 3:29. He edged Mike Sandberg of Ocean City 3-2, and he topped Michael Laterzo of Washington Township 11-7. And in the battle for 3rd place, Ryan Anderson. Was Anderson that got 3rd, Steve?
That's right. Anderson beat Laterzo 3-2 in that consolation match. We were watching the other match at the time. It's 5 takedowns and an escape to 6 escapes.
There you go, and that's why it's 11-6. You talked about Hamilton's athleticism earlier. I wonder sometimes if some of the athletes know how good they could be if they really put their minds to it, and here's a perfect example in my mind. Of course, Hamilton comes from a legacy of Hamilton wrestlers in the past, Steve.
Last region champ, 4 the Hamilton family happened back in, I believe, '79 at Bryant Hamilton. 1978, I stand corrected.
122-pounder. Well, that's Uncle Brian, and of course Marvin Hamilton, who was a regional champion as a junior, got beaten in regional finals as a senior because he wouldn't listen to his coach to get down a weight at the beginning of the season. Lost a heartbreaker to Johnny Say of Edgewood. Well, Marvin Hamilton, the first of the regional champions, and of course there was Tyrone, Uncle Ty, Uncle Jeff,
2.
Uncle Brian.
Jeff won 2.
Quite a legacy of championships in the Hamilton family. 20 seconds ago in the third period, 11-6 to score. Preston Hamilton, no need to get fancy. Do what he has to do.
We'll try that dive through now.
Yeah. Fights it off. Under 10 seconds to go. Daddy Hamilton's going to be one happy parent tonight, as long as Paul of the mom. There's a Region 8 championship for Paulsboro's Preston Hamilton by a final score of 11-6. And that was a 70th win in Hamilton's career, Steve, for a guy who was part-time as a freshman and sophomore, so to speak.
And 2 outstanding years the last 2 years, and the first regional champion for Preston Hamilton.
Yeah, there you saw his brother, Ham, Marvin Jr., with the cap on. There's Dad. You can tell by the bald spot in the back of his head. No, I'm just kidding.
And there's his sister, Shalina. The whole... Everybody excited for Preston. There's Mom.
There's Mom, Preston's mom. You can tell that. There's Preston's sister climbing the stands. The billboards are out.
We're going to go back to some wrestling here right now.
You got to love it. Yes,
Another
sir.
good one.
We're at 135 pounds. The Region 8 final. Greg Alston, undefeated, the senior from Ocean City High School. 29-0 this year, and on a single, 101-13 in his career. He's wrestling Darren Busman, the senior from Kingsway High School, 25-5 this year, 70 wins and 18 in a career. And this Greg Alston is a stud, Steve.
Yes, he is, John. This is Greg Alston, who had a little bit of trouble getting to a region final the last 2 years, finishing third both years at 103 pounds 2 years ago, when he lost in the semifinals to Joe Alexander, who won a state championship. And then last year, when he lost to Preston Hamilton in the semifinals, came back and took third. There's Jesse Castro and Adam Goldstein.
Yeah. Paulsboro's kept intact their string, haven't they, Steve, on regional championships?
That's right, John, going back to 1971. It's a
long time.
Elbow to the mat.
1970 was the last year that Paulsboro did not have a region champion.
And of course, that jacks up Paulsboro's totals over the years to 68. That was Paulsboro's 68th regional championship among 48 different wrestlers, Steve.
Here in the 135-pound weight class.
Freestyle start indicated by Greg Austin. He gives up the intentional escape. That makes it 2-1. Austin, the #1 seed, came in here and he pinned Scott Drinkhouse of West Deptford in 1 minute and 13 seconds. He pinned Jimmer Donapel of Deptford in 3:06. Oh, brother, strength unlimited.
Well, the one thing that Darren Busman has is he's very strong, and I think that Austin's even stronger, and by being stronger than Busman, you take away his biggest asset. There's an escape.
Get your time now, get your time.
4-2. Darren Busman, the #2 seeded wrestler in this weight class. He advanced with a 5-2 win over Joe Ritchie of Oakcrest. Then he beat Ray Weed of Absegami 4-2. Weed came back to beat Jimmer Donapel in the closing seconds of a great match. He's beating 4-2 with a 4-point move right near the buzzer. See
another takedown. Just dominant on his feet, John.
So Ray Weed, yes he is, of Absegami will be the third placer going to the Super Region, and we're out of the first period with a 6-2 lead by muscular Greg Austin of Ocean City.
Austin got his 100th win in this tournament.
Yes, he did. He was 99-3 entering the tournament. When he pinned West Deptford's Scott Drinkhouse, that was number 100. So he's 101-13 as of this moment. Guzman, 70 wins and 18 losses as of the moment.
The District 29 champion, Darren Busman.
There's an escape.
Last year,
7-2.
Busman was a District 29 runner-up and a Region 8 runner-up. He advanced to the finals last year, and he was beat by Absegami's Mike Hampton. The score in that match was 3-1. That was at 130 pounds, John.
And we're at 135 this year. Darren Busman lost to Kama of Paulsboro in the dual meet, came back to avenge that in the District 29 finals. Busman also lost to Becker of Clearview and 3 times in the Beast of the East tournament. So he walks in here with 5 losses, but all quality losses, Steve, to either a district runner-up or in the Beast of the East. There's the takedown.
John, I saw Austin early in the year, and I saw him wrestle and actually take apart a Virginia State champion from Lake Braddock. That was in the finals of the Woodstown tournament. And I knew that this wrestler had really come into his own, and you can see that with the record and with the accomplishments, beating some really good people, including Robert Becker, who we just saw wrestle in the 130-pound final. That wrestler from Lake Braddock, incidentally, his name escapes me, but he is now a 2-time Virginia State champion. Their state championships were held last week, and he won his 2nd state title.
There's a caution on Austin for moving a little bit too quickly. Who coaches Lake Braddock, Steve?
Lake Braddock is coached by that former Gateway Gator, John Frederick.
Who has a famous father.
His father is the director of the New Jersey State Wrestling Tournament now, former coach at Paulsboro.
And now the athletic director of Paulsboro, that one, Robert Frederick.
He's wandering around here somewhere.
His son was here today, too. I saw Johnny earlier.
I did not see John.
Yeah? Oh, my.
He's like a wrestling coach. His season ends, and he wants to come watch more wrestling.
Yeah. So strong, Austin.
Just very dominant. Very dominant. Does a great job on top. He's super on his feet.
He's just doing a clinic out there now, leading 9-2 with 10 seconds to go in the second period. Darren Busman, of course, the outstanding wrestler at District 29, was he, Steve?
That's right. Upsetting the #1 seed and defending champion at 135, DJ Kama.
Caution on Busman. Of course, DJ Kama did not wrestle in this tournament because he was overweight the day of the weigh-ins. He and the wrestler from District 31 both failed to make weight opening day. So it gave third placers Nick Ruff of Millville and Jimmer Donapel of Deptford a chance to move up to the second place positions. And Scott Drinkhouse and Juan Rodriguez, Drinkhouse of West Deptford and Rodriguez of Buna, got into the tournament as 4th placers. Third period, we're on our feet. It's 9-3 in favor of Greg Austin, undefeated. 29-0 this year, 101-13 in his career. He's wrestling Kingsway's Darren Busman, 25-5 right now, 70-18 in his career.
Austin, the aggressor on his feet, is taking most of the shots. He's just so physical, John. Expect big things next weekend. There's Tony Galletti, Bill Nichols. Bill Nichols, the head coach at Ocean City High School, his assistant. Tony Galante.
Stalling warning against Kingsway. 1 point for Ocean City. Makes it 10-3.
2 more on that drag.
That makes it 12-3.
Austin likes that near cradle.
Tony Galante, by the way, had his son wrestle in this tournament. He's a freshman and with quite a future, I think.
Joey.
Yeah.
152. He's a very small 152, but expect big things out of him years to come.
50 seconds to go.
Total domination.
Galante came in with a 22-2 record.
Wow.
It's a freshman, yep. Floyd Taylor of Glassboro beat him 7-6. Oh, brother.
Austin just so tough.
14-4 after an escape and a takedown. Just dominating this Greg Austin is.
Well, it didn't matter who showed up this weekend. Greg Austin's the best 35-pounder in Region 8, John.
And the best 35-pounder in Region 7 just might be that Dave Miller of Lenape?
That's right, and I could see that being maybe a state final, John.
Dave Miller, of course, a sophomore this year, was third in the state last year. His father, that Dave Miller, who won a state championship for Shawnee and then didn't make it through the next year's state tournament.
Lost in the quarterfinals in 1974.
Yep.
State champ in 73.
5 seconds to go. We're counting down. A dominating performance by Greg Austin of Ocean City. He wins by a score of 14-4 at 135 pounds. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back right after this.
First job.
Here we up at 140 pounds. We have this Jason Grissom of Kingsway. He's being attacked by Nick Giordano of Vineland. Here, Giordano picks him up, takes him down, but it's no official takedown yet as Grissom battles off.
Jason Grissom, a senior, seeded fourth.
Walks in here with a record of 26-3 as the number 4 seed. Nick Giordano, the number 2 seed, 26-3. I'm sorry, Grissom 24-6, Steve.
That's right.
The number 4 seed, 57-20 in his career. Giordano, 90 wins in his career, going for number 91 right here.
Vineland's had a little respite. They had a great teams back in the 80s. Now program is surging a little bit. Have not had a region champ since 1991, and that Frank Dickinson at 125 pounds back in 91.
And of course, in that last weight class, Ocean City, that was their 3rd overall regional champion, right, Steve?
Their 3rd overall champion. They've had, actually, it's the 5th title, but their 3rd wrestler to do so. Patrick Lynch won 3 region championships his freshman, sophomore, and junior year, losing in that great battle with Damian Covington back in 1991. And then Walt Dull, a real Cinderella story, weighed about 170 pounds and won the 189-pound championship in 1996.
In the meantime, we saw another takedown by Giordano, and he gives up the escape. That's 4-2. Grissom, the number 4 seed, as we mentioned, he beat Bill Bobbitt of Woodstown 6-3. Then he beat number 1 seeded Ben Chapman of Absegami 7-3. Giordano, the number 2 seed, beat James Funk of Paulsboro 10-3 to duplicate a dual meet win. Giordano beat Eric Ring of Washington Township 9-3. Ring came back with a stunning 349 fall in overtime in the 3rd place consolation bout over Ben Chapman, 349 the time of the fall. So Eric Ring will advance to the Super Regionals. We're through with 1 period here at Absegami High School. It's 4-2 in favor of Nick Giordano.
Grissom coming in here with that upset. Actually, he had a very tough match in district semifinals going back last weekend in District 29 when he beat James Funk in overtime.
James Funk came ever so close to beating him and ended up losing, as you mentioned, in overtime.
And in the finals had a dominating performance, I thought, over Tony Caruso of Clearview.
Yeah.
And now 2 straight wins and in the finals against Giordano. And Grissom's real good countering leg shots because he reaches over and grabs the other wrestler's feet and rolls them through.
And that time it was Grissom, it was Giordano taking a shot, but it was Grissom.
Richie Scarpa. Rich Scarpa on the left, former region champ from Vineland. He won the 1970 Region 8 title in 1987. Who did he beat, John?
In 1987? Peter Brandt.
Cheating. Stan Ritter comes up with the... John Mondelli comes up with the answer. Oh, man, I'm getting tag teamed here. Oh, well, that's the correct answer.
And Peter Brandt, now an assistant coach at Eastern High School.
Brandt went on that year. I'm sorry, it wasn't that year. The previous year, Brandt was second in the state of New Jersey, fifth that year. Scarpa did not place.
Grissom coming in here with 3 losses in the Beast of the East tournament. He lost to Bobbin of Woodstown 5-4. He lost to Ring of Washington Township and McGinnis of West Deptford. Giordano comes in here with 3 losses. He lost to Chapman of Absegami. As you see, a throw by Grissom, but rolled through by Giordano. Nothing given yet. Nothing given yet. Nothing given at all.
Wow. He looked like he was stuck there for a second, John.
Never quit.
Giordano rolled right through.
Yep, mentioning that Giordano lost to Chapman of Absegami 6-3. He lost to that Austin of Ocean City 3-1. He lost to West Roche of Cherokee 5-4.
He's had a nice year, John.
Yes, he has.
3 pretty good wrestlers that he lost to.
90 career wins coming into this match.
And beat a very good wrestler in the semifinals in Eric Ring. They both beat very good wrestlers.
Yes.
Wrestlers who a lot of people felt in their mind were favored. Giordano in on another takedown. Got it. Nice double leg.
That made it 6-2, but the ensuing escape makes it 6-3. Last 5 seconds of the period comes to an end, and that's the score we'll take into the third, 6-3 in favor of Nick Giordano of Vineland. Since Vineland took neutral in the second period, Kingsway will take the down position in the third period.
Grissom not far out of this match. Escape and a takedown will tie it up.
Caution on Vineland.
That was on Giordano. Sandy Hadricks explains why. Giordano switches sides. That might have been a caution, too.
No, I was just going to say the same thing. It looked like the back foot moved a little bit quick. You got to be careful now. Use up the escape.
Grissom's been very impressive in the offseason. I saw him in that West Deptford dual meet early in the year, and there's another good shot, a single leg by Giordano.
No takedown yet.
And Grissom just did not look like the wrestler that we saw at the end of last year, and he's really turned it on the second half of the year, John.
Well, I think a lot of the Kingsway wrestlers have, Steve. We looked at Kingsway early in the year and thought that they were young and needed experience to move up the ladder, and they've been peaking at the right time. Jesse Castro has them really hungry.
I agree, John. I think
at the end of the season.
Part of that comes from the fact that Jesse Castro was a college coach, and that's the college teams. That's certainly the most important part of the season, the end of the year. When you have your conference tournaments, your national qualifiers, and your nationals. So, and Grissom's in on the leg. He can tie the match. There it is.
Takedown ties it up. Oh, brother. 6-6 with 55 seconds to go. The Dragons of Kingsway, Steve. You know how you can tell they're the Dragons? Look at the back of those uniforms and see that dragon streaking through the K of Kingsway.
I didn't realize that one of their school colors was gold, but I know the guy who makes those uniforms, James Crescenzo, and he puts gold in everything. So, yeah, that's a neat dragon now. Really.
Stylish Dragons of Kingsway against the Fighting Clan of Vineland, and a simple clan on the back of the Vineland uniform tells you were wrestling a Vineland wrestler.
Oh, nice shin chuck.
That escape makes it 7-6 in favor of Nick Giordano with 35 seconds remaining in this third period.
Who wants it more now, John? 7-6.
Giordano has no stalling warnings, I don't believe, Steve.
That's right. Conditioning will be a factor, though.
So this is the time when you think about
I think you get one here.
how important is that gold medal. If I can just back off a little bit and block a little bit.
There it
There's
is.
a stall warning.
I saw that one coming.
Well, Giordano, 22 seconds ago now, he has to stay in the center circle. He has to circle. He has to try and get a shot in there. Go forward, try and get a shot. If he blocks, he's liable to be called for stalling, and we go overtime. Staying active.
He is
Keeping
now.
that pressure on.
Good job there by Giordano. Only 13 seconds to go.
Very, very tight match.
Watch out here. Quick shot. No, they have to. Whoa! They took 2 seconds off the clock there for a false start. Giordano's blocking. Grissom's shooting. He's in on a leg. 2 seconds. Not going to get it.
That's it. That's it. Giordano, the champion.
First champ from Vineland since 1991.
7-6, the final. Unbelievable. Giordano just enough gas left at the end to hold off the charging Jason Grissom, who comes in second, the Kingsway wrestler, a senior.
I thought Grissom wrestled very well, John.
Well, he did. They all have been down the stretch here. I'm very impressed with the Kingsway wrestlers at the end of the season. And no one actually has been dominating the tournament at this point. We have 7 weight classes, Steve, and 7 different schools have won championships.
I think that's going to change here.
Well, you're absolutely right. Here's Toomey Goodrum, the number 1 seeded wrestler from Absegami High School, 2-time second in the state, 29-2 this year, 115-15 in his career. He's wrestling Carl Schmidt of Washington Township, a junior who was 28-1 this year, 76-12 in his career, and Toomey Goodrum gets a takedown.
They've met before, John.
They met before, and Toomey Goodrum was the winner by a fall in the first period. Where Schmidt is the wrestler who earlier this year had been singled out as having a front headlock hold that was almost being interpreted as a sleeper hold, and he was virtually knocking some wrestlers unconscious. Appeared in the media, appeared on TV, and at the wrestling officials meeting before the districts, the groups in the districts, the officials saw a couple tapes of the coach and the wrestler in action. You can see Coach Consiglio on the right-hand side, Steve.
That's right.
Here, Cradle, here, Cradle, here, Cradle.
How long do you think he's
Cradle.
been at Washington Township, John?
Don't know, Steve.
He's been a head coach for 9 years, but he's been there for 19 years.
I know he's a soccer coach before.
19 years in their wrestling program.
Got a minute.
Toomey Goodrum on the near side cradle.
He's murder with this, John. He needs to bury his head. That means put it in the wrestler's side.
Schmidt knows what to expect, though. Goodrum, the number 1 seed, advanced with a 2:13 fall over Cisco Lopez of Vineland, stalemate. And then he pinned Ryan Logue of Kingsway in 1 minute and 53 seconds. Carl Schmidt had a 3:13 fall against Maurice Tunstall of West Everett and a 5:56 fall against Andy Romano of Woodstown in a wild, wild affair. Lowe come back to beat Romano 5-4 for 3rd place. 25 seconds ago in the opening period, Absegami in the lead, 2-0.
Goodrum's just so physical.
Been around a long time.
I think he's going to be a great
wins.
college wrestler, John.
Yeah, 115 wins and 15 losses. 2-time second in the state, so 2 of those 15 losses in the state final.
I'll make a prediction that he's an All-American, Division I All-American somewhere.
He certainly has all the tools needed to be a place winner on the national level.
Strong, quick.
2-0 after 1 period. We're heading into the 2nd period at 145 pounds. Toomey Goodrum of Absegami wrestling Carl Schmidt of Washington Township. Schmidt has the call and takes the bottom. Toomey Goodrum lost once in the Mid-Atlantic tournament this year. He lost to Mark Worthy of Central Regional, that state champion.
2-time state champion.
Yeah. Toomey Goodrum twice a Region 8 champion, so he's going after his third regional championship. Schmidt's only loss was a 155 fall to Goodrum.
Going for that cradle again. It's 2-0. Goodrum's really controlled this match, but the scoreboard only says 2-0. Schmidt doing a good job, being very stingy. Points. Goodrum with a Navy ride, trying to lift. We say ride, it's more of a Navy pinning combination, or at least attempting to get him to his back.
Oh
wow.
My, had they been in bounds, it would have been curtains for Schmidt. They twisted right out of bounds. 1 minute and 3 seconds left in the second period. Toomey Goodrum of Absegami on top of Carl Schmidt of Washington Township, 2-1.
We've seen some athletic wrestling.
Yes, we have.
In this final, and that was just another example of a very athletic move there by Goodrum. Unfortunately for him, and fortunately for Schmidt, it happened outside the yellow line.
.45 seconds ago in the second period. Goodrum in control, but a precarious 2-0 lead. One false move.
Needs to take that arm and put it up on Schmidt's back. The one-on-one that he has, he's trying. Schmidt's doing a good job of keeping that arm tucked. Now he gets a bar on it. Look out.
Uh-oh.
Look out. Schmidt does a good job bellying down. Stall.
15 seconds ago.
Stall on
warned
Schmidt.
for stalling, but he's going to get himself out into a neutral position. And I wonder about that, because they did go face-to-face, but I thought Goodrum kind of had control of the arm. But Al Maloney, the veteran official, comes over to talk to Gene Barber and explain why there's a
discussion
escape given.
Discussion on that escape.
It'll stand. That makes it 2-1 with 10 seconds to go in the second period. Goodrum on top.
Again, points at the end of the period can hurt you.
There's another example. Goodrum sweeps in, gets that.
Not going to get it.
Single, runs out of time before he can get a takedown. So we'll start the third and final period with Toomey Goodrum leading 2-1 and on the bottom.
A lot different than the last time they wrestled, John.
Well, last year was over in the first period. This time we're into the third period. The last time was a fall, and right now we're looking at a decision. Now, what is it that you're trying to get here, Steve?
That's just a banana split.
Split?
Yeah, that's the crossbody ride on Goodrum's right leg, and then reaching over and trying to actually pull Goodrum back.
That's it, hands.
Goodrum sticking his leg straight out like that to keep Schmidt from controlling that ankle. Schmidt's good on top, John.
Yes, he is.
Not too many people hold Toomey Goodrum for 30 seconds.
Yeah, we're past that mark in the third period. 2-1 with 1:25 to go. Goodrum trying to snake around.
Well, he very well may. And that might have been a miscalculation by Schmidt. Right now, I would be cutting Mr. Goodrum. I would let him go.
1:14 to go in the third period. Goodrum up 2-1, but Schmidt has not been able to turn him.
You're not going to win the match without a takedown, I don't believe. I don't think you're going to turn Goodrum.
Goodrum up to his feet.
Best move on top's a cradle, and we haven't seen him even attempt it yet. There it comes.
55 seconds to go in the third and final period.
He just realizes he's not going to crunch Toomey.
No.
That's the key to a cradle, is getting the nose near the knee, and he just can't seem to do it.
Stalemate. 41 seconds to go in the third and final period. Toomey Goodrum of Absegami leading Carl Schmidt of Washington Township 2-1, the senior over the junior. Here goes the freestyle start, Steve.
I expected that a little earlier. He goes for a near cradle.
But he didn't even give him a full breakaway. He just goes right for the near side cradle. Goodrum spreads out, spread eagle. Keeps that head high in the air. A lot of kids will, a lot of kids will put their heads down, and if they do, it's curtains on the cradle. 20 seconds to go. We got potentially dangerous on the knee. It's bending the wrong way. Not supposed to bend that way.
The referee's first job is safety. That's Alan Maloney, the official that made that call.
And a former 3-time regional champion, is it?
That's right, in Region 8.
15 seconds to go. Potentially dangerous. Been a little bit frustrated here as to what kind of a maneuver he should do next. Freestyle start indicated, gets high. Goodrum shucks him over. Goodrum coming around. 5 seconds to go. No change of possession given yet. And we're going to end up with Absegami the winner. He got 1 point. He got 1 point for an escape. So it's going to be a final score of 3-1 with Toomey Goodrum the winner.
The third Region 8 title for Toomey Goodrum.
Joins a select company, Steve.
That's right. Not that many 3-time Region 8 champions. Region champions in South Jersey.
Second place from Kingsway, Jason Griscom.
First one since last year, huh?
That's right, and there's going to be a lot more. Actually, there could be a lot more tonight. There could be one right now as Labe Black takes the mat. He's a 2-time Region 8 champion.
Yeah.
And the next wrestler after that is Scott Guerin. And he's a 2-time Region 8 champion.
So we could have 3 in a row here, get their third regional championship. Labe Black, of course, the storied wrestler from Absegami High School, who's got a marvelous career. First in the state as a freshman, third in the state as a sophomore. He's a junior now, 31-0 this year, 102-1 in his career. First in the Beast of the East tournament, obviously, if he's undefeated. He's wrestling a freshman phenom, Keith O'Donnell of Highland High School. 25-3 this year. Keith O'Donnell lost to Holmes of West Deptford and Ferguson of Southern 6-4 in overtime to Holmes 11-5. That was the first weekend of the season when the freshman got his baptism. And then he lost to Brittingham late in the season for Washington Township by a fall of 436.
And that was up a weight.
Up a weight, which was pointed out in the seating meeting that O'Donnell has wrestled a lot of quality competition this year and has beaten quite a few district champions. For a freshman. Phenomenal. Stalemate
Done
goal.
really well.
Labe Black, the #1 seed. He pinned Chris Catania of Edgewood in 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Struggled a little bit with Mike Barikian of I was going to say Collingswood, where his father teaches and coaches football, but Mike Barikian is from Sterling, their quarterback. Black beat Barikian 6-4. Barikian came back to beat John Wangert of Delsey 7-3. Where they spin behind takedown. Keith O'Donnell, the #3 seed in this tournament, pinned Chris Miller of Deptford in 3-13, and they beat John Wangert, the #2 seed from Delsey, 11-7. Labe Black in the lead.
John, if I'm not mistaken, Labe Black is now, or will be tonight if he wins this match, the winningest junior. New Jersey State history.
What did Matt Suter end up with after
his junior year? He had 102 wins, I believe.
102?
And he won his 100th win in the Super Regions.
Right.
Which would have been pre-quarters. Went on to win the quarters and the semis, losing in the finals to that Kip Covington. So this would be Labe Black's 103rd.
Right.
And that would make him the career win leader as a junior, and would put him right on pace, obviously, to become the all-time winningest wrestler in New Jersey history.
Yeah, because if he continues to win a state title this year after tonight, if he has 103 wins after tonight, how many more wins would he need to win a state title?
Well, after tonight, and there's the Highland corner, DJ Gore kneeling down, and the venerable one, Ralph Ross.
He wins tonight, he'll have 103.
Right, and after tonight, he would wrestle. He needs 4 matches
To win a state title.
To win a state title, and that would give him 107.
Right.
And then to break Suter's record next year, he would need 32 victories. That's a tall tale, but I mean, he's had that many every year.
Well,
so
he's 31 going to this match. It'll be 32. Wins the state title, it'll be 36-0. If he gets 36 wins next year, he will surpass Suter. Black starts on the bottom here in the second period, holding a 2-0 lead against impressive freshman Keith O'Donnell of Highland High School. I heard rumors
he's going to be
in the
a good
wrestling
one, John.
community that they had a good one coming up, and he certainly has proven it this year. Quite a talented wrestler for a freshman. Of course, we've seen more and more freshmen step into starting lineups over the last 12, 15 years than years ago. Years ago, when you were a freshman, you paid your dues on a freshman level and then maybe a year of JV, and if you're lucky, in the varsity lineup by the time you were a junior. So you don't see many big records from wrestlers years ago. As you see an escape by Laid Black.
My 4 years in high school, John, Paulsboro High School had 2 freshmen.
Takedown from Black.
Who were full-time starters. And this year, Paulsboro had 4 freshmen that were full-time starters.
And throughout the lineup, too. I mean, Ryan O'Hara was a freshman, right?
4 freshmen, 103, 140, 171, and 275.
Yeah.
Tom Curl, who we'll see a little later.
Yeah. Spread out throughout the lineup. James Funk, the 40-pounder. Of course, Mendenhall, the 71-pounder, who was actually a 60-pounder by weight this year. And, of course, Tom Curl, heavyweight. Laid Black, very methodical now. 5-0 lead. He's a technician.
Yes,
We're getting ready to do the opening, Steve. I saw him sitting back here next to the scoring table and just sitting there, kind of relaxed. His father's a psychologist, so he probably has a key to how to prepare mentally going into big matches. And this is certainly a big match because this could be his 3rd regional title. And of course,
escape for O'Donnell.
And of course, the 4-time regional champions are really
few and far between.
Yeah, few and far between. I think
we had one last
5
year, John. That was Mike McGinley of Highland. He won it 4 times. Prior to that, in Region 7, the year prior to that, Kevin Rucci, a 4-time region champ. And then we have to go all the way back to 1995. And Bobby Hansen, another 4-time region champ. And then Matt Suter, a 4-time region champ from 1990 to 1993 as the second period ends. And then Chuck Trotman was the first back in 1987
for Lenape High School. And we'll see Bobby Hansen in 2 weeks at the Nationals at Penn State University because Bobby Hansen won the Southern Conference Championship with a pin and I believe a major decision. As you see an escape by Highland that makes it 5-2. Bobby Hansen, a junior at the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, the former Buna wrestler. O'Donnell's doing very well. Stalemate.
Hanging real tough, John. Hanging real tough. Needs a takedown here.
Great job.
The calls in the finals have been almost without controversy, John.
Well, that's good.
I know. I'm surprised.
We've had our share during the tournament. Although I don't know if they can be controversial calls. A lot of the crowd doesn't agree to some of them, but then again, it takes a special person to go out there with stripes on in front of 2,200 people and make some gutsy calls.
I haven't been displeased with the officiating this year, though, John. I've had years down here where I thought that it was kind of inconsistent. I think it's been pretty consistent this year. O'Donnell needs to get to his base here. He's flat. He has Black's ankle, but he's not. The best he can hope for is a stalemate here. He got one.
Gets, yeah. It's 59 seconds left in the 3rd period. Laid Black, 5-2 lead over freshman Keith O'Donnell of Highland. They'll both be back next year. Black, a junior, O'Donnell, a freshman. So the future bodes well for South Jersey in Region 8.
It's hard to believe Laid Black is only a junior. Seems like he's been around forever.
40 seconds to go in the third period. Very methodical 5-3 pedestrian-like lead at this point. With as good as Lade Black is, that shows you the type of talent that Keith O'Donnell has.
And O'Donnell's really beat him to the punch on shots, John. He's gotten under him a few times, just can't seem to convert. I think it's a maturity thing.
Yeah, very strong. I mean, he's gotten in on the leg, and Black just can't shake him off the leg. Another stalemate is called, so with 22 seconds remaining in the third and final period, Keith O'Donnell has not backed off one iota. He keeps taking shots. Got a stall warning against Black.
I think that went the wrong way. I think he called, there's a takedown for Black.
Which makes it 7-3 for just about a clincher. That's it. Absegami, Lade Black, wins his third Region 8 championship. He wins by decision 7-3 over Keith O'Donnell of Highland. We'll be back for more action right after this. Here we go at 160 pounds. Scott Guerin of Paulsboro High School. He's a senior. And he's going against Washington Township's Brian Brittingham, a junior. Scott Guerin, a former Oak Crest wrestler, comes into this match. 30 wins, no losses this year. 111 wins, 5 losses in his career. He's the #1 seed. He pinned Glenn Hoffacker of Pennsville in a minute. And then he pinned John Edis of Sterling in 4:36, leading 15-6 at the time. Brian Brittingham, a junior, had a 29-second fall against Mark Town of Ocean City, and then he decisioned John Jones of Shalleck 5-1. Jones came back with a 7-5 overtime decision over Edis of Sterling to win third place in a trip to the Super Regionals.
Good shot by Brittingham. Second good shot in on a single. Guerin really good at tying up
and getting a
shots, and there it is. That's a second good shot by Brittingham. These guys are no strangers to each other. They met last year 2 times. They met in region semifinals last year, where Guerin was victorious 4-0, and then met again in the second round of the state tournament, known as the Super Regions, where Guerin was also successful by a 6-2 score, and there's Guerin in on a single. Very patient usually with this, John.
111 wins, 5 losses in his career. That's Scott Guerin. Of course, 80 of those wins were at that Oak Crest High School. Guerin, persistent, gets in on that single and just keeps charging until he gets the takedown.
He's relentless with those, John.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I've been very, very impressed with Guerin this year. Having a chance to see him so many times.
Cradle.
See that final of the Deep Creek tournament, rolled through by Brittingham. Looking into the last 5 seconds. 2-0 after 1 period. Scott Guerin, the leader over Brian Brittingham of Washington Township.
Brittingham
defers
to Guerin, who takes defense.
Right.
Very competitive matches the last 2 times, John. Last year.
By the scores of
6-2 and 4-0. Brittingham goes to the crossbody right. Seen a lot of that tonight. Guerin grabs that hand. Now watch, he's going to dump him right on his head, John.
Brittingham with 78 wins in his career. 78 wins, 14 losses coming into this bout.
Guerin's so good at fighting off those legs.
He's dominated so many wrestlers I've seen this year, but this is one, as you said, that they had a couple of close matches last year, so I think Guerin has all the respect in the world for him. Guerin, a region champion as a sophomore, but could not continue in the state tournament because he broke his collarbone in the regionals. Last year he won the regional. There comes that cradle. Brittingham fights it off though.
What you don't want to do with Scott Guerin, though, start rolling around the mat, John. He always seems to find a way to come out of things, and here he comes again.
Guerin last year wins the regional title, ends up 3rd in the state. Guerin, a tireless worker, Steve.
He's in on that other leg, and you're going to see a reversal here soon, I believe, John. Got that liner lace. An inside leg.
Might run out of room, though. 35 seconds to go in the period there. Guerin turns in again. Oh, brother. There's no reversal, but he's going to get an escape out. There's the escape. That makes it 3-0 in favor of Guerin, but Brittingham is giving him the battle.
Brittingham's very physical, John. Very physical. Guerin has great hips. I've seen that for 4 years.
15 seconds to go in the second period. Closest match Guerin had this year was that overtime win over.
7 seconds to go, John.
Guerin locked around that leg. If he keeps that leg, time will run out and there'll be no takedown. That's 3-0 after 2. Saying in that Caldwell tournament, Steve, he went overtime with Catone and Brick Memorial before getting a takedown to win it.
Guerin was a little upset after the semifinal match today. In his semifinal match, even though he won by a fall, he gave up his first takedown of the year to Johnny Edis of Sterling. Brittingham took the defensive position here in the third. Guerin again, that inside leg.
I think I've noticed about Guerin this year, Steve, he's so relentless. He has such good mat savvy.
He's also confident. He's got that inside, that bottom leg. Brittingham's very strong.
Very strong. He broke that cradle attack.
Stay with that. Stay with that liner lace. Named for the Phillipsburg State liners that perfected it so well. And there's a stall call. He goes right from that liner lace a lot of times, right to a far cradle.
Brittingham, strong youngster.
Yes, he is.
This bodes well for next year. Washington Township really has some nice young talent coming back.
They do have a nice team coming back, and I could see these guys maybe wrestling again next weekend, John.
They certainly
maybe
could.
in a final match.
They certainly could. There's Brittingham battling to come off the bottom. It's still 3-0.
45 seconds to go. Guerin in control.
Stalemate's called with 31 seconds remaining in the third period. Scott Guerin of Paulsboro, as we see Frank Consiglio, the Washington Township veteran, looking on with Ron Ippolite in the corner, former great heavyweight wrestler at Highland High School.
And Bloomsburg University.
Yes, you're right. Saw him in the Nationals. Cradle
Guerin's
attempt
got the
again
cradle
by
this
Guerin.
time.
He's going to get,
He didn't get it.
But because of Brittingham's strength, he broke that cradle attempt.
He is strong.
Many wrestlers here have gotten that Guerin cradle at that point and going right in their backs and not survive. Brittingham did
15
survive.
seconds to go, John. It appears that Scott Guerin's going to win his third region title. He's in control.
Very methodical. Very methodical. And there it is, Scott Guerin, twice a regional champion for Oakcrest. This year for Paulsboro, his third regional championship. He has a smile for Joe Henry, the referee. 3-0, that final score. Scott Guerin, a regional champion. That is Paulsboro's second of the night. Earlier, back-to-backers by Goodrum and Black gave Absegami the lead in regional champions with 3.
They're probably going to get their fourth here, John, because they have a very outstanding 171-pounder in Franco Cataliotti.
I would think so. There's Franco. Hey, Black.
Cataliotti, a senior, getting ready to do business with Dustin Burke.
Yep. They made that announcement that Black set the record for juniors with his win total, Steve. 171, Franco Cataliotti of Absegami. He's a senior, 28-3 going in this bout, 92-16 in his career. And he's wrestling the only unseeded wrestler in the final, Steve, Dustin Burke of Clayton. 24 wins and 5 losses, 40 wins and 13 losses in his career. he got here because he was third in the districts. He beat John Howe of Ocean City 14-7. He beat J.P. Bonnet of Washington Township 13-9, and he beat that muscular Mike Roberts of Kingsway High School 17-7. Cagliati, a little bit different road to the final. The number 1 seed beat that Matt Crescenzo, the great golfer from Delsey, who's also an excellent wrestler, 3-2. And then Cagliati picked Mike Mendenhall in 321 in the semis. Roberts got a little piece of revenge against Mendenhall with a 14-4 win in the consolation. So Roberts will be going to the Super Regionals, along with these two wrestlers. Whoever wins first and second, Franco Cagliati and Dustin Burke.
Great job there by Burke countering that single leg.
You know, the thing that's interesting, Steve, is that Burke is in the finals here, but I don't believe there's...
Takedown.
Yeah, he gets the takedown. I don't think there's ever been a Clayton regional champion, has there, Steve?
There never has, John. I think they've had wrestlers in the region finals. I think a wrestler named Tunstall back in the late 70s or early 80s, but never had a champion.
Of course, the Clayton coach has done just a great job this year with his team. We saw them wrestle in the Group 1s against Bordentown and Riverside.
That's right. They came on really well, and Clayton has never had a region champion.
You see the escape by Cagliati, making it 2-1. Tom Antonelli has just done a super job over at Clayton with getting that program up and getting the people in the community interested.
High crotch. Watch the spladle. Nah, there's a takedown by Cagliati.
Rather methodical.
An escape.
So that made it 3-2 momentarily, but the escape makes it 3-3.
Franco Cagliati, the incredible shrinking wrestler, John. That's not a real good headlock attempt there by Burke. But when Franco Cagliati was a sophomore, he wrestled in this tournament at 215 pounds. Last year, he was a Region 8 runner-up to Troy Bennett at 189 pounds. And this year, he's in the 171-pound final.
Finally found a spot for him in the lineup where he is more suited to his weight.
Well, explanation of that is that Absegami has just had great teams, and they've had great 171-pounders and 89-pounders, and it was just fitting for the team that Cagliati moved up to that 215 and 2 years ago, and then 89 last year when he wrestled 215, and their 189-pounder Carlino was third in this tournament last year, but was also third in the state.
We had reached the end of the first period, and we're all tied up 3-3. Cagliati lost this year twice in the Beast of the East tournament. He also lost to Brittingham of Washington Township 8-6. And we just saw Brittingham lose to Scott and Guerin in the 160-pound finals. Dustin Burke, as we mentioned, the third place wrestler in District 29.
3-3 at the end of one.
Dustin Burke on the bottom.
It amazes me that Cagliati let Burke go early on, because I think Cagliati is a very good offensive wrestler.
Yeah, he's got to watch the situation there when he's up to their feet. He's got to try and break him down. Some Clayton fans cheering on their hometown hero, Dustin Burke.
Boy, is this great for Clayton, John. Such a small school. Such a school that really hasn't had a whole lot to cheer about athletically recently, particularly in wrestling.
Well, they didn't even have a program 7-8 years ago, Steve. Antonelli, former Delsey wrestler, came in, and they went from like 2 wins to 3 wins to 5 to 9 to school record 15 this year.
Incredible. Just an absolutely great job.
There was a caution given to Burke previously.
I think they have 1 each now.
All right, Cagliati using the freestyle start as indicated by referee Sandy Hendricks, but he jumps right on the near side cradle. Burke stands up to fight it. They go out of bounds. Cagliati giving Dustin Burke a measurable amount of respect here, Steve.
Yes, he is, and he's all. Cagliari also looks very fatigued at this point.
Wastes an ankle ride. 6.5.
He's good with this. Oh, you don't need to turn into that. You need to actually change the wrestler over. That's a mistake, I think. I think what you need to do is change the wrestler over by sitting to your butt, and that gets him on the other side from that half. He has to give it up. It's hard for me to explain what a changeover is unless Burke does it.
Freestyle start indicated again.
He lets him go.
Gives him the point this time.
Which I think, you should have done that earlier. Should have been on him because, just to take an unnecessarily stall call. Good single, double, boom,
Trip.
right into a Turk. You see, Cagliari has that leg trapped with his leg. That's a Turk ride.
And he has a 5-4 lead.
The wrestlers from Turkey are always good with that. Oh, he's got Burke in trouble here. He's got that inside leg laced with his hand.
Uh-oh.
He might pin him here, John.
Oh my, here we go.
A lot of time left.
A lot of time left. Just got to press him. He presses him here, holds that forearm, but Burke does a great job fighting through. Great job. 3 points near fall. They walk right off the mat.
I don't understand that. I mean, that's 8-4. Burke's not out of this match yet. He needs an escape, though, in this period. Make it 8-5, and a takedown would help, too. Make it 8-7.
We're 29 seconds to go in the second period. Franco Cagliari leading 8-4.
Cagliari last year wrestled a really tough final bout when he lost to Troy Bennett 2-0. A very small 189. Now a solid 171.
15 seconds to go in the second period. Cagliari on top. He leads Dustin Burke of Clayton 8-4.
I wonder who the winningest wrestler in Clayton history is, John. Might be this Dustin Burke.
Well, he has 40 wins coming into this bout.
Whoa!
Oh, there's that headlock that he's used throughout the Group 1 tournament, but he has no possession yet. You can't give that too soon because of exactly what happened there. The wrestler being headlocked many times will slip that headlock and be right up in control. If you give it too soon, then you can kind of look simple when the head slips out because you have to give the reversal back. So with 3 seconds to go, Dustin Burke took his shot, but it didn't work.
Well, he still has another period, and he trails 8-4, but there was a good job there by Cagliari.
See an injury timeout called there on Dustin Burke. He's had that injury timeout several times during this tournament. Steve,
yeah, I saw that during the semifinal match with Roberts, Mike Roberts of Kingsway.
I don't know if it's cramping up or a great tattoo on the shoulder, too.
What a Cinderella weight class this is behind Cagliari. I mean, the second place finisher will either be, or first will be Burke, and he comes out of a school that just has not had much success on the wrestling mats. The third place finisher didn't start wrestling in his height at all until the day after Thanksgiving this year. First time he ever stepped on a mat. And then the fourth place finisher is only a freshman. So young, very unexpected what happened here at 171.
Yeah, the second, third seeds went by the boards. Cagliari on the bottom. Saw that tattoo on the shoulder of Dustin Burke. It looked like a sunburst. Maybe it was the sunburst over Clayton. I don't know. Maybe an intentional escape, so to speak.
He's going on the offense now, John.
Well, he has to. He's down 9-4. There's Cagliari now. He can put himself in a position to try and counter because if Burke tries that headlock again and Cagliari slips it, Burke can be in deep trouble.
Burke might have to try that headlock, John. He needs a 5-point move.
Yes, he does. As you mentioned here, if Cagliari wins this weight class, it'll be the 4th regional champion for Absegami in this tournament.
Great single there by Cagliari. He's doing what he has to do, John.
Nothing yet, nothing yet. There it is. I believe 2-point takedown.
1-point
escape. Made it 11-4 to 11-5 with the escape.
Cagliari very methodical in this match.
Yeah, going about
Very
his business. Yeah, 47 seconds to go in the 3rd and final period. Franco Cagliari is going to give Absegami another regional champion.
3-year starter.
That'll be the 4th regional champion for Absegami, and they just keep mounting that list. 4 champions tonight would give them 22, and that would move them where they started tonight at 12th place all time. That would jump them right up to a tie for 6th place with Haddon Township with 22 regional champions, although Delsey could break that tie. Delsey has 23 champions. 22 champions, I mean.
Still a wrestler to go
But a wrestler to go, so if they get one, that would give them 23, and they would bump up over top of Absegami. The undisputed possession of 6th place all time.
Assuming that Anthony Levecki doesn't win it.
At Region 7.
Right.
In Haddon Township.
Their best chance for a champion, in my opinion.
Well, Dustin Burke looks a little frustrated here on what to do. 30 seconds to go, and he's down 11-5, and it looks bleak.
He needs to throw Cagliari, and Cagliari's not going to let him throw. The easiest way not to get thrown is grab the guy's leg. Although Burke does have that spladle, maybe that's not a good idea.
20 seconds to go, 3rd and final period. Franco Cagliari, the #1 seed from Absegami High School, looks well on his way to his 29th win of the year. As you see a takedown and the 93rd career victory. Time runs out. And the final score, 13-5 in favor of Franco Cagliari of Absegami High School. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back right after this. Here we go at 189 pounds from Paulsboro High School, the #1 seed, Troy Bennett, 29-1 coming into this bout. 86-10 in his career. He's wrestling John Pellicetti of Millville High School. The #2 seed at this weight class, 25-1 this year, 80 wins and 20 losses in his career. Steve, they met last year in a dual meet.
Met in a dual meet, John, and they met here in region semifinals. Bennett winning both times. I think Bennett by fall in the dual meet, and pretty close match in region semis.
So they have met, and they know each other's moves. Troy Bennett's only loss this year was in the finals of the Great Bridge tournament down in Chesapeake, Virginia. He lost to David Walker of Great Bridge 4-2, a regional champion a year ago, 5th in the state, Bennett. Pellicetti has 1 loss this year, lost to Hoy of Southern Regional 5-2.
He's been to the States before, finishing 3rd last year in this tournament. He won by injury default over Andrew Palillo, who we'll see in the next match at 189 last year.
You're inside. Fight for the inside and go.
I think you're going to see a very, very defensive struggle here to an extent, Steve. I think Troy Bennett certainly remembers Pellicetti from last year. The youngster is a strong wrestler.
Yes, he is.
And you get this far, you don't want to take any abnormal chances against somebody who has strength. You don't want to pit strength against strength.
Well, Bennett's main asset, I think, as a wrestler is his quickness. He's strong, but he's awful quick and athletic, and that's where he works real good at snaps. Plus, he's a very physical wrestler. Pellicciati has a nice shot by Bennett.
Yeah.
That's no different than what you see on the football field from the Paulsboro junior. Just blew him away.
Which we might mention, they take down that double leg football type tackle. Bennett, starting linebacker for the Red Raiders, virtually since his freshman year, Steve.
Well, he saw some time his freshman year and then was a major cog in the defense and offense the last 2 years as a fullback and linebacker. And he'll be heavily recruited next year as a football player. And I think he's just as good a wrestler. That's my opinion. Maybe better.
I could just see somebody wanting to get him on the training table in the Division I school, Steve. The angular body he has right now reminds me a lot of that Wayne Hampton, who wrestled and played football for Paulsboro, now up at Rutgers University.
Reminds me a lot of Damian Covington too, John.
Not a bad comparison. The guy went on to the National Football League. Period runs out. 2-0 lead for Warren Sharper. We noticed tattoos throughout the tournament, and we got a tattoo on Pellicciati's arm here, and it's Superman.
It's like a Superman that's dripping, John. I saw it at the scale, and it's a dripping Superman. Like it's bleeding. Then it's on defense. He's up quickly, Pellicciati.
You suppose they got that tattoo just before weigh-ins, Steve, and it wasn't dry yet? Or?
No, that's the way.
That's the way they make them.
I'm not crazy about tattoos, John.
Does that match any of yours, that tattoo?
No, I've never gotten a tattoo.
Where's that Nicky B?
I can understand the earrings.
Yeah.
You get an earring, you get that hole close up, but tattoos I don't understand.
It's tough to take off.
That's true.
1:47 left
Very
in the second
expensive.
period. Yes, it is. And John Pellicciati, who also is a great football player, as you see a subdued, quiet crowd waving to us. Hello, everybody.
Pellicciati doing a good job on top. Bennett to his feet.
Now, Pellicciati's got to kind of break his man down a little bit sooner, or he's going to be called by stalling by referee Alan Maloney. Who, by the way, was a three-time Region 8 champion, Region 4, I guess, in those days. 98 pounds for Edgewood in 72 and 73, 101 pounds in 74. He's put on a little weight since then.
Right.
Hasn't gotten much taller.
I think that was Region 8, John. We switched in 1972 to 8 regions.
Of course, Al Maloney back then had a tad bit more hair, Steve.
That's true. He was a lot smaller, too.
Came across a picture of him one time in the archives there, and really, it was neat how much hair he had at one time.
Bennett, of course, a defending champion in this weight. Pellicciati in on a single. Good job there.
The escape made it 3-0, and Pellicciati trying to fight for a couple points that would bring it a little bit closer.
Bennett does a good job countering that single.
Well, Bennett is so methodical too, Steve. Unfortunately for a Troy Bennett, nothing is impossible, of course, but laying him way, way, way ahead, you don't look more than one match at a time now, but probably the best wrestler, one of the best wrestlers in the States in the same weight class, and that's that Damian Hahn, who...
He's not the best wrestler in the state in this weight. He's the best wrestler in the country. And
second as a freshman, two times a state champion.
On his way to Minnesota on a full ride. He's also someone who I went down to the U.S. Nationals and this in the spring, actually, and it was down in Orlando. Nice place to watch wrestling.
Yeah.
And at that tournament, Damian Hahn was in the actual senior division of the U.S. Nationals.
That should be a takedown.
No.
Oh, my goodness.
I wonder about that call. That's been called too the whole tour. Shoeless. Pellicciati lost his shoe.
Oh, brother. Is that an injury timeout?
No, it's equipment.
Equipment timeout?
But in that tournament, Damian Hahn wrestled Les Gutches. Les Gutches is a two-time NCAA champion, and he's also been on the U.S. World Team. and the score was 7-0. So Han's an outstanding wrestler, but Troy Bennett's a great athlete. He also is a very good wrestler, and they both weigh 189 pounds, and I think that they could be a great bout.
Great shot by Pellicciati, a quick shot. Bennett using that strength and speed.
Right back in.
Who won that match? You're saying that Han wrestled
7-0. 7-0.
And Han won?
Yeah, no, Gutches won.
Oh, okay.
7-0. I mentioned it was 7-0 for Gutches.
Yeah. See him spin around. Bennett, the #1 seed in this weight class. You finally get a stall warning against Millville, which brings Doug Tenbrook up off his chair in a hurry, the Millville coach. That's the end of 2 periods. 3-0, a methodical lead by Troy Bennett. Bennett, the #1 seed. He beat Brett Tyson of Highland 7-1. Then he beat Nasser Price of Williamstown 3-1. Pellicciati beat Tim Gay of Lower Cape May 8-2, and he beat Vince Arlotta of Washington Township 7-6. And Price came back to win 6-4 in overtime against Arlotta to win 3rd place here.
Pellicciati to his feet. Bennett's had a lot of success on top this year with a one-on-one wrist ride where he pulls it onto the wrestler's back. Pellicciati's a very strong wrestler.
Doug Tenbrook kind of standing up in the corner thinking maybe the slowing was called on his guy, and maybe Bennett's slowing too. And Al Maloney gave him the evil eye to the corner. Bennett has to do something here in a hurry or he'll get called for stalling. He tries to trip as Pellicciati scrambles to the out-of-bounds side. 1:38 remaining in the 3rd and final period. Assistant coach at Millville and Doug Tenbrook to our left looking over.
Crowd has thinned out a little bit, John.
Yeah,
I'm surprised.
I'm surprised too, and it's been a long night. Start that constellation.
Bennett has that liner lace, John.
Into the finals. Some people have seen what they want to see and they've gone home, or they've gone outside to take a smoke. One or the other. You can't smoke in here. Although they told the crowd, go outside to smoke, you can't come back in.
Well, I guess if you have to choose between wrestling and smoking,
it's an easy choice.
Yeah,
watch wrestling.
That's the truth.
Bennett leading 3-0 against John Pellicciati of Millville. 80 wins and 20 losses in his career. 25-1 this year.
Crowd sort of reacting to the fact that Pellicciati keeps tying his shoes, and
sometimes when that happens with Joe Henry out there, he leans down and ties the guy's shoes for him with a double knot or a triple knot. Perfect counter by Troy Bennett.
Good job picking up the ankle. He's got to be careful here with.
Well, you know, you see a lot of wrestling like this at the National, Steve, where 2 wrestlers are very, very good. And no doubt these 2 wrestlers are very good. They have over 165 wins between the 2 of them.
I don't think Bennett's stalling. I think that Pellicciati's heading towards the line, and Bennett's just doing everything he can to stay with him at the line. And then when it looks like Bennett's getting in an advantageous position, Pellicciati shoots out of bounds.
50 seconds to go in the 3rd and final period. Troy Bennett well on his way. If he's
trying to score right on the line there, John.
Yep. Well on his way to a 2nd consecutive regional title. 5th in the state a year ago was Bennett. Not his favorite sport, Steve, wrestling. He loves football. But he certainly has played a major role in Paulsborough's success the last couple of years.
Oh, all 3 years. He's had a tremendous dual meet record. He's won 3 district titles now in 3 years, and 2 region titles, maybe. Going for a 2nd here with 42 seconds to go.
Lost in that Friday night round his freshman year. I believe he lost to that Andrew Palillo, didn't he?
Right, his name keeps coming up.
Yeah, when Palillo was wrestling for Shalleck High School, I believe, at the time. And transferred over to Delsey High School, so the last 2 years, Palillo's been here as a Delsey wrestler.
Not a lot of offense in this match, but I haven't seen a lot of offense out of Pellicciati either.
No.
He's crawling towards the line, and Bennett can't do anything but stay with him.
will stand up. .21 seconds remaining in the third period. Troy Bennett challenging for his second consecutive Region 8 title. John Pellicetti, who was third a year ago, trying to upset those plans. He's running out of time. We're coming down to the 10-second mark in the third period, and it's apparent that Troy Bennett is going to
win his second title here.
Win his second title by a final score of 3-0. So Troy Bennett, your 189-pound champion of the Region 8 tournament.
2 years in a row.
And that gives Paulsboro its third champion of the night. Absegami the leader with 4 to this point.
That's half the champions, John.
Yeah, 4 and 3. That's 7 of the 14 weight classes. A lot of people are leaving, and that's a shame because there's 2 exciting bouts still to come. And a revenge match coming up next.
This match is a rematch of the dual meet where Sharper won by 1.
Andrew Palillo of Delsey High School was the number 4 seed coming into the tournament. He won 19-9 over Darnell Scott of Overbrook. He won 15-6 over number 4 seeded Matt Friel of Clearview, who had upset the number 1 seed Joe Weiss of Mainland. Handed him his first loss 6-4. Then Palillo beat Friel.
Warren Sharper, matched wrestlers here, John.
The Warren Sharper, the number 2 seed, beat Dan Stillwell of Ocean City by a fall in 2:21. Then he decisioned Greg Parker, the All-South Jersey football player from Hamilton, 10-3. Parker come back to beat Matt Friel 8-7 and claim third place. Yep, Sharper
quickly.
Not a great shot for Sharper. He's done that with a lot more speed and strength in the past, but Palillo gets the takedown. Sharper comes up and gets the escape, and it's just that quick. It's 2-1.
Palillo did a good job there with that counter, picking up the 2. Sharper coming right up now. Palillo trying to show some dominance here on his feet.
Palillo 29-1 this year, 78-22 in his career. There's the Sharper trademark. Sharper 25-5 this year, 61-21 in his career. As you mentioned, Palillo's only loss this year was the Sharper in the dual meet, 4-3. Sharper's losses were to Ryan Adams of Rock Hill, a monster of a man down at the Deep Creek tournament, and a fall in the second period. Lost to Joe Weiss of Mainland 4-3. Lost to Levicki of Haddon Township 2-1 in overtime. Lost to Levy of Collings at 8-7. And he lost to Pfister of Point Pleasant Beach 5-4. So of his 5 losses, Sharper had 4 of them decided by 1 point. And Palillo's only loss, that was decided by 1 point. So seemingly 2 kind of equally matched wrestlers here. Palillo tried a finesse move with the ankle.
And a drag.
Yep. Sharper more the strength wrestler, although Palillo has to be classified as having strength too, I think.
Hold up.
Sharper tries a throw by to a single on the line.
14 seconds ago in the opening period, 2-1, Palillo in the lead.
I have a feeling most of this match is going to be on their feet.
Oh, I think so, Steve. And that's the way the first period ends, 2-1 in favor of Andrew Palillo of Delsey High School. That early takedown might be the deciding factor before it's all over.
Whose choice? Ours? Down.
Sharper deferred to Palillo. Palillo takes the defense.
Down.
I don't know how long Sharper will try and ride him here.
You're out. You're out. You're out.
Strong suits this year. Palillo comes up within 5 seconds, has the escape.
Both wrestlers have shown some good offense, some good counters. Sharper picking up the pace a little bit.
3-1
That's
lead.
the kind of pace that Sharper needs to wrestle, John. He needs to wrestle a fast pace.
but under control.
That's right, against the Delsey senior.
You get out of control with your fast pace, because if you do, and you get your head down, the man's going to push you down and spin behind.
Another good drag to a takedown.
He's beating Sharper on his feet, where Sharper has excelled at times this year. That makes it 5-1 on the takedown. Sharper just laying flat on his belly at this point. He's got to push up and start to move, or he's going to be hit from stalling. Can't just lay there. Of course, nobody wants to walk out of here as the loser, Steve, because second place here wrestles third place from the other region, and then that survivor wrestles that Doug Eastlick from Cherokee, who's still undefeated. We're presuming he'll win. Stalemate was called on that last no motion on the side because neither wrestler was doing a lot of action, but very, very soon Sharper's going to get called for stalling, and there it is. Tom Reynolds, the official, it only takes so much of him bellying down, then he calls the
escape.
Stalling warning.
Sharper needs to get busy here. 33 seconds to go. Needs a takedown to get back in this match.
And Palillo's doing a very good job of countering right now, and it sweeps to the outside again. Sharper's got to keep in motion here, move him around. He's got an inside cradle. He can get a takedown from this if he drives. If he drives, he's got to clear that leg. He clears the leg, he gets the takedown.
Only 8 seconds to go. Great time to score at the end of a period.
That makes it 5-4. Now Palillo's laying flat on the mat.
Sharper's going to take bottom, no doubt. And we'll be in a one takedown situation.
We're 5-4 right now. Sharper does take the bottom, Steve.
Conditioning is a big factor here with these big guys, John.
Yes, it is. Caution on the red.
I guess that's Sharper.
Sharper's the red, so Paulsberg gets a caution. He comes up to his feet, gets the escape.
Here we go.
And we are tied up at 5-5. And who can get the takedown?
I think the next one wins it.
Well, Palillo's had 2 takedowns.
Sharper's had 3 escapes. Palillo didn't get any escapes. That's the key. 1 escape.
Yeah, 1 escape. 2 takedowns and escape. There he spins behind again, gets a takedown. That's his 3rd takedown. He's in control, 7-5. Sharper has to move with the bottom down. He's already been warned for stalling. And if he bellies down and doesn't make an attempt to come up to his base, he's going to get hit with stalling. There it is. That makes
8-5.
8-5, and that's a
tough call there.
Huge point. Well, he just lays there, Steve. I don't disagree with that call. You know, you can't lay there and say the man on top of me is, he's got to get a little action too, but just can't flatten out.
I just think the guy on top's a little parallel, John. I thought he was before too.
Not doing the thing with the bottom. Now he's got to pop up. That's what he has to do. Get up and get active. 45 seconds to go. There's your stall call warning on the top for being parallel, Steve.
There it is. Sharper needs an escape and a takedown.
He's got to explode off the bottom. Of course,
Palillo can't afford to get called for stalling.
No, you just make him an intentional escape, too. There's a second caution against Paulsboro. Paul Marino on the left, Dean Duke on the right. Up and escapes. Now takedown is also meaningful here, Steve.
Get busy. Only 35 seconds to go.
8-6. He needs a takedown just to tie it up. Of course, that's how he beat Palillo in the dual meet. He got a late takedown to win 4-3. Palillo is so much more confident now than he was in that dual meet. 20 seconds to go. 15 seconds to go. Five seconds to go.
Not going to get it, John.
To 6, the final score. Andrew Palillo of Delsey gets revenge from the dual meet and wins his first regional title, again by the final score of 8-6. We're going to take a break one more time, Steve. We'll be back right after this. Here we are in the final event of the Region 8 Championships at Absegami High School. The big guys, 275-pound weight limit. Rob Sampson of Williamstown in the blue and white. He's wrestling Tommy Curl of Paulsboro. Senior against the freshman. Sampson 21-1 this year, 60-12 in his career. Curl, the freshman, 28-2 this year, and his career, of course. Sampson, the #1 seed. He pinned Mike Beato of Pittman in 24 seconds in the quarterfinals. He pinned Nate Parent of Millville at 1:15 of the semifinals to reach this point. Tommy Curl comes in as the 2nd seed. He pinned Win Pugh of Pensgrove in 2:15, and he decision Paul Dietrich, previously undefeated, of Lower Cape May, 10-3. Dietrich came back to beat Parent of Millville by a fall in 3:24 to earn 3rd place here.
Curl early in the match hit that left-handed fireman's carry right out of bounds. No takedown, but I think it might have slowed down Sampson a little bit. So he comes right in right there. 1:11 to go in the first.
Sampson's only loss this year was to Ed Tyler of Delsey, who sustained an ankle injury in the district finals, and it kind of paralyzed him a little bit. He lost in the district finals by injury default to Nate Parent of Millville, and then Tyler tried to come back and wrestle in this tournament, and he lost the first night to Mark Howell of Sterling High School, 13-5. Then Dietrich, of course, beat and eliminated Howell 3-0.
They have the common opponent.
Common opponent is Tyler. Tom Curl lost 8-4 to Tyler. Sampson lost 17-8 to Tyler. Curl's other loss in his freshman year was to Steve Kapinski of Phillipsburg, in that match that Paulsboro won by 1 point. He lost 11-6 to Kapinski, but we're all holding our breath at the end of that one.
Well, that was a different kind of wrestling. That was a wrestler that had a job to do, and of course, the Tyler match, double stall. First one of those I've seen tonight.
As you were mentioning, a different style of wrestling for Curl. His job is to go out there, and if I don't lose by more than the decision, my team wins. And, you know, for the sake of his team, he did what he had to do out there. I think if he was given the opportunity to take some shots in that match, it might have been a little bit closer, a little bit different. 3 seconds to go in the first period. There's no score. There has been a double stall warning given to both wrestlers. We're going to end up 0-0 after 1. Joe Henry lecturing the 2 wrestlers about, let's not see a dance here, let's wrestle. See the crowd looking on pensively.
Sampson takes the defense.
Marvin Hamilton Jr. right in the middle of the crowd there.
Next to him, former state champion Joe Duca.
Dustin Burke's favorite lady there in the middle with the glasses on, Catherine Burke. Ant. There's an escape by Rob Sampson of Williamstown. He was down and he works the escape, so he takes the 1-0 lead. He breaks the ice.
That's it. Hold on, finish.
So what does Curl have to do against the guy that's bigger than
I think he needs to get that Russian tie, get that hand off his neck and get the Russian and get the angle that he wants, because it's hard to shoot on him from straight in. I don't think that's the answer right there, diving in. I think you need to get an angle with that Russian tie. Same thing he did with Pugh.
Yeah, and of course the loser here, of course, is looking forward to the Super Regions of wrestling, possibly that Bennett of Pemberton, who was undefeated going into today.
Right.
Or
Bennett lost to Sharper last year.
Or that wrestler from Shawnee that's done so well this year, I believe. Heavyweight.
That's what you don't want to do. You don't want to go in on a straight dive in if you're Curl.
Yeah.
It's a big man right there. Sampson's almost 270 pounds.
Yeah, and that sprawl situation there.
Good athlete, too. There's Jason Hendricks, former West Effort standout.
And the son of Sandy Hendricks has been officiating in this tournament. Mike Zook, of course, the head
There's
coach.
a drag.
Dragon spin behind by Curl for a takedown. He's got to break him down to the mat. There's been stalling warnings. He's got to break him down. They go out of bounds. That gives the lead to Curl 2-1. And what's he have to do here, Steve? Did he cut him loose or did he break him down?
I think the most important thing that you need to do is not get called for stalling, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Whether you break them down or you let them go.
Big guy. Sticks his foot out. Curl's got to turn him down. Got to flatten him out first. Break him down to the mat, flatten him out. Samson's an awful big guy to do that with.
He does it.
And now he's got to get off the parallel ride and get out to the side, or else he can be called for stalling. He's got to break him down and get out to the side and work. The second time he's broken him down. Of course, long look being taken at the man on the bottom, too. Is he making an attempt to come up off his belly?
He's coming to the side here.
Well, then he goes right back on top. So he's going to keep that side work. There he goes out the side. That's what he wants to do in the middle of the mat. He's been so successful this year of that, Steve. Getting that arm bar out to the side.
Good job there by Curl.
2-1 lead going into the third and final period for the freshman, Tommy Curl, Paulsboro. And I'm sure he's going to be down in the third period. And we've seen some great moves by, there's the big rig.
The big rig. Mark Voge.
Looking on.
His handler, Joe Sabatini.
The Sab, former Paulsboro wrestler. Both of them former Paulsboro wrestlers. Sampson on top. Curl has to stay active on the bottom now.
260-pound wrestler on top.
Yep. Sampson breaks him down. Curl's got to get, he's pushing up. Sampson can't ride parallel and smack him in the face like that.
He can smack him in the face, but he's got to watch riding parallel.
Yeah, there he gets out to the side.
There's Curl on a dump situation. He's in pretty good position right here, John. Going to run inside that leg. It's a big leg, but...
Well, and he lost his grip on it because it's a big leg. 1:15 to go in the third and final period. Tommy Curl's up 2-1 over Rob Sampson. Curl,
there's a reversal.
Spins around behind, gets a reversal. Big move by Tommy Curl, the freshman. That puts him up 4-1. He works that arm. This would be amazing, Steve.
There's a stall call. Makes it 5-1.
5-1.
The freshman.
Amazing,
45
Steve.
seconds coming up on 45. The youngster who turned 15 during the season.
Has there ever been a 4-time regional champion at heavyweight?
No, there has not, John.
No, sir, baby.
Paulsboro faithful has stayed till the end.
They're there. They have. I don't see any seats vacant there.
Tom Curl Sr. looking on from the stands, I see.
Former wrestler at Clearview High School.
Very nervous, I'm sure.
Where is he, Steve?
He's up in the stands.
Up in the stands? Oh, the faithful are, they're stomping. They're stomping.
37 seconds.
Oh, my.
The thing that impresses me about Curl is he's a very good mat wrestler, John, and this is where he has to be real smart.
Break the man down first.
Which he does. You don't want to give up a roll.
Give out to the side and put the pressure on. Break the man down. 25 seconds to go in the third and final period. Tommy Curl, Paulsboro.
Get hit for stalling.
The freshman, he cuts him loose. Good move. Williamstown has to take the shot.
Curl took the shot.
I told what I said. Williamstown has to take the shot. He's losing 5-2. He can't sit back. 10 seconds to go. Oh, brother. What a way to crown the evening, huh?
5 seconds left. This kid has been amazing all year, John.
Big time, and Mom's taking the pictures.
Tom and Eileen watching the match. Only 5 seconds to go. He dumps him at the buzzer.
Did he get the points?
No points.
No points. What a shame. 5-2 to final. But that's the fourth regional champion for Paulsboro. They and Absegami both with 4 apiece. And And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other schools had one apiece. And
Paulsboro mobs Tom
they
Curl.
love it in the corner, Steve. They love it in the corner. Freshman Tommy Curl caps a great year. It's not
Dave
over yet.
Stanton right now, who helped
Dave
him a lot during the year. Former heavyweight state runner-up.
from Haddonfield High School. Very emotional time for the freshman. Very emotional time. You did it, big guy. You did it. Tyrone Hamilton. All right, Steve, let's take a little quick run through here while they're sorting through some things down on the mat. 4 champions for Absegami, 4 champions for Paulsboro. First champion for Absegami, Dave Chapman, the 3-pounder you were so impressed with. And then you got Toomey Goodrum and Lay Black back-to-back at 45 and 52. And Cagliati crowning it at 171 pounds. For Paulsboro, it started with Preston Hamilton, the senior, the veteran, 130 pounds. He gave way to Scott Guerin, the veteran. 3 years at Oakcrest. This year, Paulsboro, he caps his 3rd consecutive Region 8 championship at 160 pounds. Troy Bennett, very workmanlike win at 189 pounds, and the freshman Tommy Curl gives Paulsboro its 4th championship in this Region 8 tournament. All the rest of them, Steve, were one apiece. Gary DeBrielle of Overbrook, number 3 seed, did a great job in the tournament. He wins 112. Mark Manchio, a measure of revenge. He gets the win over Joe Alexander, the 2-time state champion, at 119. Billy Gibbs, the impressive junior from Clearview, wins at 125. Greg Austin, the undefeated Ocean City wrestler, wins at 135. Nick Giordano, very impressive for Vineland, wins at 140. And Andrew Palillo gets revenge from a dual meet loss to Warren Sharper to win at 215 pounds. There's Tom Curl in the victory stand. Your impressions, Steve?
Well, I think it was a great tournament. I think you saw 2 very outstanding teams really come down here and show off in Paulsboro and Absegami, but you also saw some great wrestling from the likes of Billy Gibbs out of Clearview and Mark Manchio and Joe Alexander. And I think what you have is a great contingent going in there on Tuesday and heading down to Atlantic City over the weekend. You're going to see some state champs come out of this region. It's been a great year for Region 8 teams. You're going to see a lot of them ranked high, and it's just been a fabulous year for South Jersey wrestling.
Okay, Steve, well, thanks for helping with the wrap-up, and we hope to see everyone at the Super Regionals at Cherry Hill East High School. From Absegami High School in the championship round, the Region 8 tournament, this is John Vogeding for Steve Anuszewski saying thanks for watching Comcast Channel 43. We'll see you next time.